You are now listening to Wolf Sports Network at the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now on Odyssey Station.
Welcome to the Playbook. Now, it's a late night here in Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. So sit back, relax. Actually,
and I think this Michigan State team is poised for a deep run in March. I think they probably go and win the Big Ten this year, to be honest with you.
and we bring you the best in college sports, including our very own West Georgia Wolves.
You mean to tell me these Wolves can't outscore by at least 1 point here at University Stadium? Michael, give me the Wolf head!
And Brandon Dyer tries to defend his back-to-back titles in Who's That Campus Legend. This is the Playbook.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome into another season of The Playbook and an especially special episode today as we have the College Football National Championship going on while we're live on air. And we're going to go through the first hour of the show today, and we're going to go through kind of like what the episode is really going to sound like, look like, feel like for the rest of the semester. And we are going to stay on air after that hour from 10 to the rest of the national championship game until it ends. But going around the table here is going to be to my right, JT Groves, returning for his third semester here. Aiden Abe, of course, behind the board for his third semester here.
Yes,
and you don't see him right now, but Michael Miller is going to be joining the Playbook cast this semester. We have a whole lot of stuff for you guys tonight. We're talking about some college basketball, some UWG women and men's basketball. But I want to get started with talking about what we were doing in the offseason on the football field. So, Aiden, let's kick off this show. All right, everybody in here, are you ready for the kickoff? I said, are you ready for the kickoff? All right, so I'm in college. It's the national championship game. I know you guys might be down on Carrollton Square or whatever out, having yourself a little bit of adult beverages, enjoying the national championship game. But I'm here to remind you that in a recent survey, almost 53% of full-time college students ages 18 to 22 drank alcohol in the past month. That is why Dream City Brewing Company, Wolf Sports Network, and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign is here to remind you there is no drinking under the age of 21, never drink and drive, even if it's one alcoholic drink, and add food and water when you drink so you don't end up texting your ex, which means know your limits. So, Aiden, we had a acquisition in the offseason. If you're just now hearing about it, Joel Taylor, 8-3 last year, UAC Coach of the Year, shocked us as he left late in the offseason, really. So, and we were trying to look around the FCS ranks, and we found a guy named Steve Englehart, who came over from Presbyterian, and me and Michael Miller were able to go join Coach Englehart for his introductory press conference. We're going to play you a clip from that press conference.
Our program is going to be about recruiting, developing, and retaining. I believe in doing things the old-fashioned way. And I know that times have changed in college football, and people think that you can't do things the old-fashioned way anymore. But that is our foundation, and it has to continue to be our foundation.
Now, Aiden, what can you get from Coach Englehart and what they expect out of him here at West Georgia after that clip?
Yeah, so in the press conference there, you hear him talking about doing things the old-fashioned way, and that is how he's been having to do it over there at Presbyterian with the Blue Hose. They play in the Pioneer League, which is it's a conference that doesn't do scholarships. So he has been coaching a football team with no scholarship athletes in the Division I level. And last year he went out there and he won 10 games with them. And I was looking at the statistics for that team last season. They threw for 3,000 yards. They ran for over 2,000 yards as a team. They had a balanced attack, played good defense, and they beat Mercer, who was a very good football team. They got a win against them. See,
that's where Joel Taylor went.
Joel Taylor went over to Mercer. He's already got the win over who they had last year. You love to see it. I think he has shown that he can build a program the old-fashioned way without bringing in transfers, without going out and getting you're not getting great talent. He is developing, and he's shown that he can do it. I think he's going to do the same thing here with West Georgia.
Yeah, and I love the way that he used old-fashioned, because you look at how college football is turning out nowadays. You're having a strictly passing offense or a strictly rushing offense. He's got a little bit of both. And also this defense last year at Presbyterian ranked second in FCS in total defense and third in scoring defense. So, I mean, I really like this pickup for us. I think that he's a great coach, had a career record of 91-74 over at Presbyterian as well. And before he got to Presbyterian, they never won more than 4 games.
Yeah.
In those 7 seasons before he actually got there. And then they turn around and they hit 6 wins. And then they hit a record-breaking 10 wins for that program, which is unreal. Named Conference Coach of the Year last year. I really like this pickup. I like how old-fashioned he plays. Great defensive mind, but also having that balanced offense. And bringing some recruits from Presbyterian over here. I know that we're going to talk about some of those transfers coming in. I love Colin Hurst. I think he's a great quarterback coming in from Presbyterian. Last 2 years, starting for them, freshman All-American in 2024. A lot of awards to go by. 16-5 as a starter at Presbyterian. I really like bringing in Coach Englehart and the recruits that he brought in as well.
Yeah, proven winners at quarterback and at head coach.
Well, now I'm glad you mentioned the transfer portal with that, because he brought in at least 20 players already within this transfer portal. And kind of with how late he joined the staff, that's kind of the direction that he had to go. Because West Georgia, we had a lot of players leaving. Some of them went to go to Mercer, join Joel Taylor over there. But we also have a whole lot of Presbyterian guys coming over here in West Georgia. We have, as you said, Colin Hurst, who was the leader of that offense for him the past 2 years over there at Presbyterian. And then we have Justin Montgomery coming in, who was their second leading rusher. We have Malik Lewis, who was their second leading tackler. And we have coming in is going to be I forgot his name.
Yeah, it's a lot like what
It's a lot.
It's
There's
a lot
20 guys here, so there's a lot to go through.
similar to what you see in the national championship game right now, where Signetti brought in all of his guys he won with at James Madison. Englehart doing a lot of the same things, bringing in his guys that he won with at Presbyterian over to West Georgia. Hopefully we see a similar outcome.
I'm excited about it. I think that Coach Englehart showed a whole lot of leadership in that introductory press conference. Really showed that he's going to be a culture guy here, and he's going to bring in guys that are bought into what we are doing here.
Yeah, Google him, he wins.
And while we do have a whole lot of time to talk about before football season starts, there is some West Georgia sports that are going on right now. So, Aiden, how about them Wolves?
Hey, how about them Wolves?
Let's talk about some West Georgia Wolves.
So, Aiden, it's been a while since we talked about some West Georgia basketball on this show, because we just talked about college football in the fall. But this women's team is heating up over there at the Coliseum.
They have been on a run since we went to Christmas break. They went in. I was taking my finals. They were sitting at 4-4, but they had played some really good teams. They went on the road to Oregon, to Florida, and to Georgia Tech. But since I've been gone, since I've been home, not paying as much attention, this West Georgia Wolves team has been 8-1. They including a 95-point win over Wesleyan. They beat them 116-21. They went on the road in the conference and put up a 41-point win over Bellarmine. They're sitting at 12-5. One of the best teams in the conference. I think top of the conference right now, I believe.
Yeah, we're top of the ASUN right now.
Top of the ASUN. A big win over the second team of the ASUN that I'll break down in depth later. But this has been a tremendous month for West Georgia Wolves women's basketball.
And now looking over to the men's side of things, JT, how have these Wolves been doing on the men's side?
So since the beginning of this new year, good old 2026, West Georgia started out super strong, 3 straight wins against Bellarmine, Eastern Kentucky, and North Florida. But we're currently on a 3-game skid. Now we're on a road slate right now, but at the same time, losing to Jacksonville by 30 points, losing to Stetson by 10, losing to Florida Gulf Coast, which we'll get into a little bit later, losing to them by 18 points. Our team is struggling on the road this season. Home games were proven to be very strong in front of our home crowd, but being 3-3 is not horrible considering how we went last year. We're looking about how we looked last year at this point.
Right. And I think that was an uncharacteristic loss over there to Florida Gulf Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we'll get into it later, but that game right there just kind of like set a good amount of the tone for how I think the rest of the season is really going to go. for the men's team, but the women's team had, I think, maybe their biggest win in program history last week. Whenever they brought in the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles, where they won 63-56, snapping a 58-game ASUN winning streak by the Eagles. And Joanna Reitz in her press game post-conference after the game mentioned how it was a collective team effort to get this huge win.
You know, it's really fun to be the team that breaks the streak, and they earned it. I mean, they worked their tails off in practice for the last few days. I want to give a credit to our scout team. We've had guys here for 3 days prepping us for this moment and simulating, you know, what they do offensively and defensively. And so when the moments hit, we were ready.
So Aiden, what went into like being on the court for this game, and just kind of like what was going on that led to this win for West Georgia?
I mean, I think that they played an absolutely perfect defensive game against Florida Gulf Coast on this day. Held them to 16.7% from the three, held them to 33% from the field the whole game, and they were efficient on their own side. They shot over 40% from the field, over 45% from three, led by 26 points from Jasmine Jones. The whole team. It was a defensive game that really the defense won it for them. Florida Gulf Coast couldn't get a shot off that wasn't contested throughout the entire game.
And now, so I think this is just another display of just pure dominance by West Georgia. Like you look at, you didn't mention the rebounds. That was the thing that staggered me the most about it. Was we out rebounded this team 45-27. So I think that this was a big growing game for West Georgia. Again, one of the biggest programs I think in program history. I haven't been here that long, but this is definitely the biggest win I've seen.
This is one you can hang your hat on. This is one of those big wins they'll put up at the end of the year when they're talking about, you know, who gets into to a tournament. This is one that they'll flash up on the screen, big win.
And like this was a team that really came into this game, and it was Florida Gulf Coast who had won the ASUN the past 8 years on the women's side of things. So I cannot stress this enough how big of a win this was for the women's team. Yeah,
program defining is a lofty term, but this one is one of those program defining wins that you have every once in a while.
And now looking over, there was another team playing Florida Gulf Coast. It was our men's team also playing Florida Gulf Coast. JT, what was going on in that game?
So I really don't want to talk much about this game other than the fact that Shelton Williams-Dryden played out of his mind, 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. But we just could not stop him. Our defense just looked pitiful. Florida Gulf Coast putting up 90 points on us, led by Ramir Barno putting up 19 points. Just an all-around effort from Florida Gulf Coast, and we just couldn't manage to stop them on defense, giving up too many shots. They shot very well in this game, shooting 57% from the field compared to our 40. So we need to start knocking down these shots. We're passing the ball around well, 18 assists in this game, but we just need to start knocking down more shots, get more comfortable. I don't know what's up with our offense, but we're not making these shots that we need to be.
Well, I think that the anchor of this team this season has been the offense and being able to score inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like this men's team has had a problem with allowing, I call them cherry-picked buckets, where it's just kind of like you can go and like score a basket or miss a basket inside on one end, and there's already like a guy running down the court. We're just not getting back on fast breaks.
Yeah.
I think that if West Georgia's men's team wants to get back on track, that is where it starts. We have got to start getting back on defense. We have got to start – our backcourt has got to start doing that. We've got to start getting buckets inside. Interior defense, that's been our strength the whole entire season. Yeah. I think that Javar Daniel down there and Shelton Williams-Dryden does a really good job holding down the paint and being the anchors on that defensive side of the ball.
Well, also, we mentioned how our defense, our interior defense has been like the main force of our defense. But we got out-rebounded 33-19 in this game. Yeah. That is not something that wins a game at all.
Hey, we can stop the shots. We just can't rebound them when they
miss. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And, I mean, that's something that we need to work on. We've been strong throughout the season with it. Just a really poor performance, like, in the paint on defense for these West Georgia Wolves.
And that's, like, even getting in players like Malcolm Noel and all of them over there for West Georgia. I think it's crucial now that West Georgia try and just play around with some depth that they do have with some of the guys that normally aren't going to get a whole lot of playing time. I know they're right in the thick of the ASUN conference, but they're sitting at 500 right now. And I think looking at their schedule ahead, they have Central Arkansas. No, they have Central Arkansas Thursday at 7 p.m. and game 2 of a Saturday doubleheader starting at 4:30. The women's team is going to be at Central Arkansas Thursday and back home for the first game of that doubleheader on Saturday at 2 p.m. So if you think I worded that a little bit weird, basically next Saturday is going to be at the Coliseum doubleheader. Women's game is going to start at 2. Men's game is going to start at 4:30. And Wolf Sports Network is going to be there to provide coverage, play-by-play of that game.
Beautiful.
Let's go.
So there's a lot of looking up over here, even within Wolf Sports Network, and a lot of the covers that we are going to be doing heading into the thick of this basketball season here at West Georgia.
Yeah, but one more thing before we go to a quick ad break. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's Pre-K Monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfUWG.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. Visit thewolfUWG.com/book drive. Give us them books. Come on.
All right, so we are going to go into a little bit of a break here to show you guys what we have coming up here at Wolf Sports Network, and we'll have a special guest whenever we come back.
Throw it on a dime. It's Matty Fresh, and you're listening to the Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Cross 'em up, live from Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. We got you covered with the men's and women's basketball teams. Shooting a 3, make it with ease, crossing you up, now you on a meme. And then they popped out and did it again like Baby Keem. Tune in 1 hour before tip-off of select home games this season for the West Georgia Wolves basketball teams. For the full list of live coverage, visit wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network from inside the Coliseum.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
When it comes to fandom, nothing matters more than the outfit you're wearing. The logo you wear solidifies your love. Now you can be a Wolf Sports Network fanatic with our brand new merch store powered by Ozier Apparel. Visit wolfsportsnetwork.com and click About. And now let's talk about some college basketball. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Playbook picks.
So if you haven't been tuning in to college basketball, it's been a wild season with everything from court stormers in Cincinnati and Syracuse, coaches getting bans, Mr. Dan Hurley, and coaches nearly assaulting officials. I'm looking at you, Woo. Notre Dame. But in the mix of all that, there's been a great product on the court, and I am glad to say that we are in the thick of college basketball season on both the men's and women's side of things. So, Aiden, get us started with what team has looked the most impressive to you this season?
The most impressive team that I've seen this year has been the Vanderbilt Commodores. All right, this team started the year out 16-0. In the last week, they've gone 0-2. If I was doing the show a week ago, my pick would have looked a lot better. They dropped their last two to Texas and Florida. But I look at the stats for this year, and 16-2 is way better than they were projected to do anyways. This team was projected to finish 11th in the SEC this year. Right now, sitting at 16-2, looking beautiful. I think they got 4 players averaging over 10 a game. I think Tyler Tanner and Duke Miles are the best backcourt in the country, bar none. That is the undisputed number 1 in my opinion. They're 7th in the country in points per game. This offense is fast. They're moving the ball. They can score on anybody. Even in their losses, they've been able to score with the teams. That's not been the problem. If the defense can continue to develop, which I think it can, I think this team is really cohesive, really well built. I think Vanderbilt has impressed me the most so far this year, compared to where they were projected to be at the start of the year.
Would you go as far as to say Vanderbilt might be the best team in the SEC? Because I think they're right there with Alabama. Honestly,
yeah, they beat Alabama head to head. They got the win on them right now. But I think the last week's really scared me on them, with especially how they played against Texas. Just got completely played out of the building in Austin, which does concern me. But I think on their night they can be the best team in the SEC, as shown when they went to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama.
Right. Michael, who has been your biggest college basketball team this season?
Okay, so I wouldn't say they've been impressive so far because obviously they're the defending national champions, so you want them to obviously have they have less than 5 losses at this point in the season.
Yeah.
But I still think Florida's playing at such a high level. I think Florida's still the best team in the SEC, to be honest with you.
Fair.
And I hate saying that as a Georgia fan. Cannot stand to say that about Florida. But
You would have hated that game, but what was it, 2 weeks ago?
that was
3 weeks ago?
not a fun game. That was very brutal. So surreal kind of screwed us early in the game. It was just punching the guy in the face. Can we do that? But if you look at Florida's non-conference schedule, they played a gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
They really could have won every single one of those games late in that game, and they let it get away from them there towards the end of all those basketball games they play. But ever since they've opened up conference play, they smoked us at home in Gainesville. They played a good Tennessee team, smoked them. It was a little competitive at the beginning, then Florida just completely boat raced them in the second half of that game. So I still think Florida's playing at an extremely high level. They beat Vanderbilt this past Saturday. I think Florida's still the best team in the SEC and one of the best teams in college basketball.
Well, you guys can stick with your SEC basketball because I'm going to what I think is the best basketball conference in the country this season, and that is the Big Ten. And I'm going to go with a team like Aiden did with Vanderbilt. It really hasn't seen a whole lot of success in the past. I'm going to go with the Nebraska Cornhuskers right now. I'm going to go with a team that's never won an NCAA tournament game.
That's bad.
The past 11 years finished below 500 in conference play 9 times, only made the NCAA tournament twice since 1998, and has not finished a season ranked since 1995.
Sounds a lot like
that's before
football.
I was born, y'all.
Sure, bud.
And currently sitting at 18-0, wins over Illinois and Michigan State within that Big Ten race. Brought in a Jamarquez Lawrence and Bryce Sanford through the portal. Sanford, their leading scorer this season, with 16 points per game, and Lawrence, the team leader in assists, with 3.6 assists per game.
That's not a lot of assists.
The bread and butter. Whoa! They spread the ball around. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but he's a facilitator of this Husker offense. Okay, I'm about to say he's been playing really good ball over there, Aiden.
3 assists.
The bread and butter of this team for sure has been the off-ball movement and offensive efficiency, which I love. Good offensive efficient basketball. Like it's almost like Indiana in football. I like that in basketball. Where's a high efficient, good execution. And I think if they keep this up, this team winds up in the Big Ten championship against maybe Purdue, against maybe Michigan or Michigan State. But now we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up in college basketball this weekend. So, Aiden, let me hear what your game of the week to watch is in college basketball.
All right, the game to watch this week is definitely Houston at Texas Tech. These teams played less than 2 weeks ago in Houston. Houston got the win by 4 points, and they only shot 39% from the field. They shot less than 25% from three. They were wholly inefficient. Texas Tech really shut them down on the defensive side of the ball. And they got the ball moving on offense. They were 40% from the field, 40% from three, but they lost. Texas Tech couldn't have drawn up a better game. They fell apart in the last 8 minutes. They went 3 from 10 from the field. They turned the ball over 5 times in that stretch. If Texas Tech can put it together down the stretch again, they outplayed them last time, but they should have won that game in Houston on the road. This time they come to them. They got to fix some things up in Lubbock. I don't think they can do it. I think they gave them their best shot in Houston last time. I think the Cougars are going to win this one and solidify themselves as a top 5 team in the country.
So now, within the thick of this, there's the Big Ten and the Big 12, I think, are obviously the best basketball conferences this season. I don't think that's any kind of question to anybody.
I agree.
Where do you think Texas Tech is in this Big 12 race that has Iowa State in it? It still has BYU. There's Houston that they're going up against.
I think they can compete for a semifinal. Like they'll probably have a semifinal run in that conference. Now, when it comes to contending with those Houstons with BYU, they're reliant on if somebody can have a big game just to get them to score enough because their defense is amazing, and they're just looking for points. Can JT Toppin put together a 25-point game in one of those big moments? And he hasn't done it yet this year.
Yeah,
we'll see if he can. He's good enough to. There's no doubt about that. I just don't know if he can outduel an A.J. Dabonce on his best night.
And now, Michael, what's going to be your game to watch this week?
I got 2 for you because I can't remember. Okay, I'm a big SEC guy.
A daily double.
I can't make my mind up. All right, so tomorrow night, so the midweek, I like Vanderbilt at Arkansas tomorrow night. I'm very excited to watch that. See how Arkansas responds after their whipping they took in Athens, Georgia this weekend.
And Vanderbilt coming off
back-to-back
losses.
Yeah, exactly. That's 2 back-to-back losses. So I'm excited to watch that tomorrow night. And then this weekend on Saturday, North Carolina at Virginia is a game that I'm looking at. 2 ranked teams in the ACC going at it at 2 o'clock. So I'm excited to watch that one as well.
Like I do love me some ACC basketball. But I mean, the past few years have been kind of lackluster over there within the ACC. I love ACC football, and I want to love ACC basketball. But my God, the past few years, the ACC has just been like top teams, and then there's been some like bad teams within the ACC.
The Big 12 is just super fun. I just love watching the Big 12.
The Big 12 is fun.
And then, so you mentioned the SEC, and I'm going to go right back in the SEC to talk about my game to watch this week. But I'm not going to talk about men's basketball. I'm talking a little bit about women's basketball. And that is going to be a top 5 matchup between the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Vanderbilt Commodores. Vandy is absolutely a sports school now.
They've just completely flipped the script. No more academics for Vandy. It's all sports.
They used to be a baseball school only, but now they've just
and now baseball is probably their worst sport right now. They haven't been very good, and on the diamond recently.
And so South Carolina, Vanderbilt. This is, in my opinion, the 2 best teams in women's college basketball. The only other team that I feel like is close to those 2 is Texas and maybe UConn. Michaela Bridges, my favorite women's basketball player right now, is taking the Commodores to heights that we have never seen the program get close to. They're currently sitting at averaging 25.6 points per game, second in the nation, 18-0, and sitting at number 5 in the polls. Just got a win earlier today over number 7 ranked Michigan. And I really think this Vanderbilt team is going to go far in March.
Ooh.
Like, they do have that game. I do think that Don Staley, South Carolina, winds up getting it done against them, though. I think South Carolina is too much. I don't think I'm ever going to bet against a Don Staley-led South Carolina team. And as much as I want Michaela Bridges and I want Vanderbilt to win this game, I really do not think that it's going to happen for the Commodores. I think they get their first loss this season. But so as I mentioned before, basketball is at the full swing of things, but there is another college sport that is on deck.
Oh.
Grab those peanuts and Cracker Jacks because it is time for the 7th inning stretch.
That is right. We are almost in the full swing of things for college baseball season. And a lot has happened this offseason with players entering the portal. Michael, who has been your biggest addition through the transfer portal and why?
Okay, my biggest addition is Drew Whalen going from Western Kentucky to Auburn. All right, so Auburn, if you've watched them play baseball the last couple of years, one thing they've been very good at is on the pitching side of things, and they're just going to keep adding to that. Tim Hudson actually helps out a good bit over at Auburn. I'm not sure if he has a full-time position over there, but he does. He does help out a good bit as he went there. But Drew Whalen, last year at Western Kentucky, he was the Conference USA Pitcher of the Year last season. And he had a 3.53 ERA, which in college baseball, so in the MLB, if you have a 3.5 ERA, you're considered a good pitcher, right?
Right.
In the MLB. In college, that's like having a sub-3 ERA in the MLB. Like, the way offenses are in college baseball, that's a really big deal. So I think him going to Auburn is going to be a big deal for them. And really the biggest thing, like you're seeing now, like in all college sports, but especially in college baseball, is how much these teams are utilizing the transfer portal in college baseball. Like Georgia, I'm a big Georgia fan. We use the portal more than probably anybody in the conference. We rebuild our roster every year in the portal. And Auburn is starting to take that kind of same approach because they've kind of been falling behind the last couple of years. They haven't been as competing as well with some of the big boys. So that's a big addition for them, and that's my biggest impact transfer for this baseball season.
So, Michael, who's been your biggest addition for Georgia baseball specifically? You mentioned you're a big Georgia guy.
So this year for us, and to be honest, the biggest thing for us was going after pitching, right? Because we have not been as well. We have not been a good pitching staff the last couple of seasons. And the biggest thing, like the last 2 years, have been in the tournament. We got deep with Charlie Condon the year before that. Our offense was explosive. Last year, our offense was, again, the number one offense in college baseball statistically, but we just couldn't pitch. We got Joey. I'm going to try not to get his name right.
I'm going to cut you off right there. All right? This man, he can throw 100 miles an hour, and he has a nasty slider. He's 6'5", and he's transferring in from the West Coast to an SEC baseball team. Stop me if you've heard this story before. It's not Paul Skeens. It's Joey Volchko. He's moving in from Stanford to the University of Georgia. All right, he had a 5.68 ERA last year. He struggled with the control. He walked 72 people. He struck out 110. The Georgia coaching staff's going to get him on track, going to get him right with it. And he's going to be the next Paul Skeens. This guy is a huge right-hander, and he's got all the potential in the world to go and dominate at Georgia and help get them to the promised land this year.
There you go.
Happy to help you out.
So I'm going to go looking in the ACC for my top transfer, and it's going to be AJ Gracia, who is an outfielder that was phenomenal for Duke last season. He hit 293, 449, and 558 slash line. Had a 16-game hitting streak, stayed healthy all last year, played in all 60 games for the Duke.
He hit 293 with a 16-game hitting streak?
Yes.
What was he doing the rest of the year?
Hey.
All right. Hey,
look,
no hate to
we
AJ
go through
Gracia.
stretches in life right now where you're good and sometimes you're just not so good, man.
Well, you know what? I'm hating.
That's like a Dan Ugly.
My guy was
right there.
My transfer of the year was a pitcher with a 6 ERA, so I might need to pop down.
But you're putting them in with another great outfielder like Henry Ford out there in Virginia.
Henry Ford?
I think, another outfielder with Virginia.
The dude who invented the...
Buddy, we don't got time for this, Aiden. We got a show to get to, Aiden. Come on. I think this is a great fit for a Virginia team that really underperformed last season, preseason number 1 in some polls, and they wound up losing in the first round of the ACC tournament. So I think bringing him in, trying to get them to score more runs, because they had a good pitching staff last season, and I think they're going to have a good pitching staff this season. But they just need to go in and get a guy who can just drive in runs and get on base, and I think that's exactly what he brings to the table for the Cavaliers here. And now we've talked about individual players, but we are going to switch over to full teams that the audience out there should look out for. Who are you going with, Michael? Who is going to be your college baseball team to watch this year?
I think UCLA is the best team in the country. I think their lineup's loaded. They got a good pitching staff. I really like UCLA, but I will say either my second or most least favorite team in college athletics. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets scare me to death.
Oh, we're about to go all across.
I'm very scared about that. Drew Burris in year 3 with that lineup. And, it's not just Drew Burris either. The entire lineup is completely loaded. I like their pitch. Georgia Tech has always had a pretty good pitching staff. Last year was not incredible. But for the most, Georgia Tech's always kind of been that way. It has been very consistent in that. And but they have a new coach this year, too. So we'll have to see how that goes. And Georgia Tech might take the next step. But they got a loaded lineup. But they're kind of one of those teams that's like, you look at their lineup and they should you make those expectations where they should be, but at the same time it's like they have to kind of go out there and prove it too, especially with the new coach.
Aiden, who's your team to watch?
My team is also the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. All right, Drew Burris is back, Vaughn Lackey's back, Alex Hernandez is back. They got 5 hitters in this lineup who hit over 310 last year.
Yep.
You were going crazy about a guy who hit 293. There's 5 players better in this Georgia Tech lineup.
Aiden.
Sure, AJ Gracia and
not everybody can be Georgia Tech.
Henry Ford up there. And we were talking about the pitching side of things. They brought in Dylan Loy from Tennessee. They brought in Justin Shoddick from Rutgers. I think they added some top end talent to a rotation that needed it desperately. Georgia Tech's the best team in baseball right now, guys. Book it. No UCLA.
And we're going to go for a full sweep here, boys, because
Oh,
my
man.
team to watch this season is also going to be the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Again, we mentioned the lineup coming in. Drew Burris, Alex Hernandez, Vaughn Lackey. You didn't mention Kent Schmidt or Caleb Daniel.
Too many names.
Good contributing
like
guys
rule of
on
three.
that roster from last season.
It's that lethal 1 through 3 right there.
Yeah, well,
They go through 9.
if you guys ever ask ChatGPT to do anything, they do it in rule of 3, and that's because that's the best way to do something grammatically to really hammer home your point. So I just went with my top 3, but it's okay.
But you didn't mention David Avencula from Cal that we brought in.
Never.
An infielder that we brought in. I think that he's going to be a really good addition to the staff. And then we mentioned James Ramsey, the new Georgia Tech head coach. First, a new head coach in there, and I think it's 38 years since Danny Hall has been the head coach for that team for 38 years. James Ramsey comes in. He's created one of the most prolific offenses in the entire nation while he's been at Georgia Tech, and it could be even better, I think, going into next season. The only thing that concerns me, again, is pitching inconsistencies. That's the thing that got us last year. That's the thing that I think if we aren't going to win the College World Series, that's what's going to wind up costing us it. I think that we're going to score 10 runs a game going through the season. Like, I don't think anybody's stopping the offense that we have. But, again, they return Mason Patel, Caden Spivey, and Tate McKee. McKee pitched great, like, in the College World Series. Once we got to the actual NCAA tournament, the pitching staff just kind of folded other than Tanner McKee. Because Tanner McKee had a good game against Western Kentucky, and that was the only game that he started for us within that NCAA tournament. Patel pitched 4.1 innings combined through 2 games and allowed 6 runs. And Jaden Spivey, who allowed only 1 run in the 5 outs that he had against Murray State. So there's a whole lot of looking in the mirror at Georgia Tech. It looks a whole lot like last season, just kind of ramped up a little bit. So.
That game in Atlanta, though, 20-10, somebody.
Hey.
20-18, maybe.
And that might be a higher scoring game this year than it was last year.
Last year, it was like 3-0 last year. That was the final score. That was completely like off the wall in that one. We actually had shoved in that one. But Are you going? I got nothing.
Over 2.5. Doing it. Wait, what's happening?
What's happening? I'm so confused.
You're doing the ad read right now.
Oh, doing the ad read? Oh, I apologize. Which one would you want me to read, Brandon?
The drinking
Talk
one.
about our drink responsibly campaign, Michael.
I love that one. College students who binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or project because of drinking. Dream City Brewing Company, Wolf Sports Network, and Wolf Radio proudly reminds you to drink responsibly. Students 21 and over should drink responsibly in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty won't take hangovers as excuses. In a recent survey, almost 53% of full-time college students ages 18 to 22 drank alcohol in the past month. This is why Dream City Brewing Company, Wolf Sports Network, and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign is here to remind you there is no drinking under the age of 21. Never drink and drive, even if it's one alcoholic drink, and add food and water when you drink so you don't end up texting your ex, which means know your limits. Binge drinking is consuming 5 drinks or more on one occasion for males and 4 drinks or more for females. However, some college students drink at least twice that amount. That is why Dream City Brewing Company has joined Wolf Sports.
Michael, Michael, you just went twice for it again there. That was
You gotta get the point across.
Yeah,
yeah, we gotta get the point across.
They better.
You guys, I know the national championships tonight, but drink responsibly.
They better pay us
everybody.
double for that. I mean, that was
we are gonna go into a quick ad break.
Quick ad break.
Show you guys what we have going on at Wolf Sports Network this spring, and we will be right back. Live from Carrollton, Georgia, you are listening to the Playbook, your home for all things college sports. Only on Wolf Sports Network.
Cross 'em up. Live from Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. We got you covered with the men's and women's basketball teams. Shooting a 3, make it with ease, crossing you up, now you on a meme. And then they popped out and did it again like Baby Keem. Tune in 1 hour before tip-off of select home games this season for the West Georgia Wolves basketball teams. For the full list of live coverage, visit wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network from inside the Coliseum.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
but we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Cross 'em up, cross 'em up. Live from Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. We got you covered with the men's and women's basketball teams. Shooting a three, make it with ease, crossing you up, now you on a meme. And then they popped out and did it again like Baby Keem.
Tune in 1 hour before tip-off of select home games this season for the West Georgia Wolves basketball teams. For the full list of live coverage, visit wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network from inside the Coliseum.
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We are collecting new and gently used where are we at here?
You got it.
We're collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting the wolfuwg.com/book drive. That's the wolfuwg.com/book drive.
Let's go. Now let's get into some playbook picks.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Playbook picks.
We had to change that up a little bit, but I still love it. Still love the eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And so we got some games that we're going to cover, mainly in the basketball world. We're going to start on the women's side of it. We have our first game, probably the game of the week. We have number 2 South Carolina taking on the number 16 Oklahoma Sooners. Both of these teams, very, very good teams. Obviously, they're 2 ranked teams. South Carolina's only loss this season came to number 4 Texas, who they proceeded to beat later on in the season. So, Aiden, I'm going to start with you. Who you got in this one?
I'm, of course, going to go with South Carolina and the Gamecocks. Brandon touched on it earlier. He'll never pick against the Don Staley team. I also will never pick against the Don Staley-led South Carolina team. This team is unbeatable in my eyes, even though they did get beat once.
Yep.
I really agree. I'm going with South Carolina. I'm not picking against them. They're like the Alabama of college or women's basketball. I'm not picking against them.
Oh, UConn, man. Come on, give UConn some respect. Rebuttal.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a clean sweep here. I mean, they're favored on ESPN 78% to 22%, and it's very fitting. I mean, like you said, you can never pick against this kind of South Carolina team. Looks like one of the best teams in the nation. I mean, they're ranked number 2 for a reason. They could very easily be the number 1 team in the nation by the end of the season. I think I got to go with South Carolina as well, so a clean sweep there.
I mean, probably number 2. Y'all are really disrespecting this UConn Huskies team up there. This is crazy.
UConn's known for being good, but I feel like South Carolina is going to take the reins by the end of the season. Going into our next matchup, we're going to go over to the men's side of it. This Saturday, we have Illinois taking on Purdue. Purdue, their only loss this season was to number 10 Iowa State. Michael, I'm going to start with you on this one. Who do you got?
I got Illinois in this one, actually. I think they're going to get Purdue. I've watched some Illinois games this year. I really like what I'm seeing from their offense this year. I'm right with Illinois this weekend.
Like that.
Yeah, this Illinois team is I mean, they're just a pure Eastern European professional basketball team that has been brought into college. David Mirkovic, Tomislav Ivcevic, Andrei Stokovic, Mihajlo Petrovic, Zvonimir Ivasic. Give me Illinois. Nobody's beating that team.
Yeah, I mean, they're on a good win streak right now, but so is Purdue. I mean, the number 11 versus the number 4, and I think that Braden Smith is going to carry this Purdue team to a win. Give me Purdue in this one. Going into our next game, we have the number 6 Houston Cougars taking on the number 12 Texas Tech Red Raiders. Houston's only loss, again, only a 1-loss team, was to number 17 Tennessee by only 3 points. Aiden, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I touched on this game pretty heavy earlier, and I said that I thought Texas Tech gave Houston their best shot and came up short. and I didn't change my mind in the 20 minutes since then. I'm still going Houston to win this one. I think by more than 4 this time. Give me Houston by 10 on the road in Lubbock.
I agree. I'm going Houston, too. We talked about Texas Tech a little bit earlier in the show, like Aiden talked about, and I think they've been playing really good basketball. And this is a really good opportunity for them to kind of make their statement in the college basketball world this year. But I still think Houston's a better basketball team. They're going to get the best of them.
I'm going to have to go with the underdogs in this one. Give me Texas Tech to win this one. JT Toppin, he shares the same name as me, and so I love this team. I think that Texas Tech is going to pull off the upset against a very strong Houston Cougars team.
Zero ball knowledge take right there.
Give me the underdogs. Give me the underdogs. Going into our last game, we're going to go right back over to the women's side of it. We have the number 5 Vanderbilt Commodores taking on the number 2 South Carolina Gamecocks.
Back to the South Carolina of it.
Right back to it, coming up this Sunday. Aiden, I'm going to start with you. Who you got in this one?
Guys, I've got very similar commentary that I had to the other South Carolina game, where I said that they are the second best team in the country, undoubtedly.
Under UConn.
Yeah, indubitably the second best team in the country. If you want to argue with it, argue with a brick wall. Dawn Staley is going to beat this Vanderbilt team that Brandon was hopping up earlier. South Carolina by 30.
JT, let me ask you a question real quick before I answer this one.
Can I answer too?
You're more than free to.
Open floor.
All right. If you need a game-winning touchdown drive, right?
Okay.
Are we taking prime Tom Brady or prime Peyton Manning?
I'm taking prime Manning.
I'll go Tom Brady.
Well, JT kind of messed up my analogy.
Yeah, I'll go Brady for your.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever
He thinks that college.
You got 2 really good options, right?
That's
but
the
there's a clear like you're never picking anybody but the GOAT, right? It's Tom Brady. 7 Super Bowls. You're picking Tom Brady.
That's fair.
South Carolina.
That's valid. Yeah, I mean we're gonna.
But
have
UConn, dude. He picked whatever.
We're gonna have a clean sweep here again. I mean, looking at ESPN, Vanderbilt has a 9% chance to win this game. I feel like they need to have that needs to be bumped up just a little bit, but South Carolina is still going to dominate in this one. Give me South Carolina. And we are now going to go into our signature segment. Who's
South Carolina is the Peyton Manning in that analogy. Like, UConn's Tom Brady.
Reggie Bush, Johnny Manziel, Jimmer Fredette, Christian Leitner. What do these guys have in common? All these players know what it's like to be a campus legend.
You heard it. It's our signature segment. Michael, please pass.
He's new here, man. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that.
He is
that's
new
the
to this.
that's the fourth Mike's job is to pass out
Michael,
the boards.
We're actually going to start with you on this one.
Oh,
all right.
As our newcomer.
Wait, can we have markers too?
Yes, we do need markers to write down. Whiteboard is no good without markers. All right, go ahead.
All right, I got to remember. Are we starting with the college first?
Michael, you gave me a marker with no cap. This doesn't write.
All right, let's go. Let's just go.
All right, Florida.
Ooh.
I still don't have a marker, guy. Michael, throw me
not
your marker.
working?
I didn't have a cap on it. It's right out.
There's so
Florida.
much going on. Florida.
All right, yeah, Florida.
Okay. No guess. I've
No
nothing.
guess there.
Me neither.
All right, what's the next category I got to go with? Like, what's the next
It
part?
is
Position.
Wide receiver.
Oh, I'm guessing.
Hmm.
I was gonna guess it on the first one just because I've been thinking about him a lot lately. I've been having
I'm also
dreams about this man.
If there's anything I learned from last semester, it's take a
Guess
shot.
Guess early and
Just
often.
take a shot if you think you
know what?
who it is.
JT's guessing, and I need points on Brandon to really help me out here. By the way, Brandon's sitting out because he's so good at this that we're trying to give
we're
ourselves
trying to gain
buffer.
a head start on the back-to-back champ.
So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna unguess, even though I said I guessed already.
All right.
Rebuttal to myself.
Next hint.
Yeah, what's our next thing, Michael?
Is overall draft pick and what year?
Overall draft pick, right. He was the 185th pick in 1996.
Oh, gosh, I'm definitely not right.
The 115th?
185th pick in 1996.
1996. Yeah, this guy definitely did
a
not.
fifth rounder
play.
in 1996. I think Michael might have missed what a campus legend is.
He is a campus legend, though. Not a great NFL career.
Oh, my gosh. This is going to be like some guy that caught a famous slant route against Georgia.
He's laughing. I think that might be
he's
right.
a national champion.
He did win a national championship with that team. That does make sense.
It's not Steve Spurrier. All right, let's go.
Next hint. Years played in the NFL.
Yeah.
He played a total of 3 years.
Well, can I get the years?
What years?
1996, 97, and 98.
That does make sense. That's 3 years after 1995.
Yeah.
We should have put two and two together there.
You should have done that, yeah.
Oh, you're the one who asked.
I already guessed.
Oh, crap.
All right.
What teams?
What teams did he play for?
Only the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No guess? Mine's definitely not right.
No, I've got a guess. It's wrong, but I've got a guess. I'm not going to write that down.
There you go. Write down Tom Brady.
Played with him. This was my initial guess. I wrote down 4 points that was wrong, and I'm just going to go back with it.
All right.
Because I loved it.
Flip the boards. I put Ricky Pearsall.
I put Percy Harvin.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get you at the Percy Harvin one. It was Chris Doering.
Chris Doering.
Yeah, and why is he a campus legend?
He was good at Florida.
That's a great reason. I never considered that.
That
You know what?
He's a good wide receiver.
I'm sure he was.
Even better analyst on the SEC Network.
If you ask,
that makes sense.
My criteria for campus legend, all right, is if you ask a frat boy at the college now what number they wore, they know. And I don't think he meets the criteria.
I don't think there's some Florida guys.
I don't
that go
think
to
he
frat
meets the
Florida know
criteria.
that.
There might be some hardcore Florida fans like Jackson Bulls that might know who that was.
You want to go next?
I'll go ahead and go
All
next.
right, get it.
The college in honor of the national championship, Indiana.
Oh, I also did in honor of the national championship. Well, I'm giving out stuff for free right now. I don't need to do that.
I'm locking in for Hayden's guess. Next hint, he was quarterback for Indiana.
Oh, wait, you don't need that.
Send me a marker.
Oh, yeah.
He was a quarterback at Indiana?
At Indiana.
Oh, I got it. I'm drilling this one.
Do you? Aiden locking in for 4.
Yep.
Michael,
I
are we
always
locking
lock in for 4.
I don't know if we're getting anybody that's ever played at Indiana until the last 2 seasons.
All right, next hint. He was drafted as a wide receiver.
Oh, no.
With the 62nd overall pick in 2002. So, very, very versatile player. Quarterback in college, drafted as a wide receiver, played as wide receiver in the NFL.
I got no idea.
No idea?
I got nothing.
Years played in the NFL, 2002 to 2009.
It's a good career.
Do you need the teams?
Very.
The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Redskins. Currently the Washington Commanders.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, just making sure we knew that. Any final guess? Michael is writing down.
What is?
Probably absolutely nothing. Go ahead and flip those boards.
Oh, wait. We don't get to.
Michael has a question mark.
I would put Michael Penix Jr., Indiana quarterback.
Very famous Indiana quarterback.
He did go. He was an Indiana quarterback, and he transferred. If you knew ball, you would know that.
I did know that.
Nah, you don't know that. You don't know ball. He didn't play for the Bills, so JT doesn't know who he is.
That is true. That is valid. This
All
player
right.
is Antoine Randall L.
Oh, dude! Shout out to Antoine Randall. That is a campus legend.
That is definitely a campus
You know
legend. You ask somebody at a frat party, they'll know
Great,
who that guy is.
Great pick, JT. I'll
All
give you a
right.
handshake for that one. I like that.
Thank you. Aiden, you're up.
All right, my player went to the University of Miami.
A lot of options there.
There's a lot of guys.
Oh,
that
don't
went
worry.
to Miami.
He has more options too,
All
because
right.
he is a wide receiver.
Ooh. I got like 3 guys that are coming to mind.
Common JT Groves phrase.
I say that when I have absolutely no idea who it is.
He was drafted 11th overall in the 1988 NFL draft.
Come on. Yeah, I was lying about knowing 3 guys. I have no idea who this is.
Not a common JT Groves
Yeah,
phrase.
not a common phrase. I know
All
a lot of
right,
stuff
y'all got
about that.
anything here? I'll go ahead and move
Years
swiftly
played.
on to the years played. 1988 to 1999.
Long career. Very long career.
Brandon Dyer looks absolutely appalled out there.
I'm putting one
Brandon
down.
went to college
I'm
with
putting
this
one
guy.
down.
Yeah, Brandon.
I'm locking it down.
Brandon did probably have this guy's jersey growing up.
Yeah. He thinks. Oh. Oh.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I got nothing.
He played for one team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my gosh. I hate it. Yeah. Okay.
This is
That hurts really bad that I didn't know this.
Michael looks like he's doubting himself now.
I'm not doubting myself.
Michael
I'm
has
locked
lots
in.
of doubt on
I'm
his
locked
face
in.
right
Michael
now.
locked in for 2?
Michael locked in for 2.
I'm locking in for 1.
You're locking in for 1.
It's Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin, SNL legend. Shout out Michael Irvin.
Michael gets 2
As of today.
As of period on SNL a night ago. So shout out to Michael Irvin.
In a shocking fashion, I mean, Brandon didn't really get an opportunity to be a part of this, but in
And,
a shocking fashion, Michael taking the early
Well,
lead.
he did get a guy who had his name, so that's kind of cheating.
Yeah, I mean, You, Michaels.
Michael.
You, Michaels.
That was a great bit. Shout out to me for that.
Well, don't go anywhere. We thank you guys so much for tuning in so far. This was the Playbook. But we are currently going to stay live. The national championship is currently going on. So we're going to give you some live coverage when we come back from this ad break.
Indiana leading 10-7 in the third. More on it when we come back.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Cross 'em up. Live from Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. We got you covered with the men's and women's basketball teams. Shooting a three, make it with ease, crossing you up, now you on a meme. And then they popped out and did it again like Baby Keem. Tune in 1 hour before tip-off of select home games this season for the West Georgia Wolves basketball teams. For the full list of live coverage, visit wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network from inside the Coliseum.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Welcome back to hour 2 of
the Playbook College Football National Championship Special.
We about harmonized.
I'm your host, Brandon Dyer. Now, normally the Playbook, it's an hour-long show, but we're going to stay on air for you guys for this National Championship Special, provide you guys with some updates of what is going on between Indiana and Miami and how the game is going.
Yes.
And get a little bit of college football playoff bracketology talk going on in here. Indiana currently up 10-7 over Miami.
It's true.
Aiden, what are you seeing in this game that's putting Indiana up like this?
Well, in the first half, they went into the half up 10-0, and we watched a majority of that first half while we were getting ready to go live for the show. And Indiana's defense was just absolutely smothering Miami at every point in the game. They were just winning the field position battle. They were able to get a field goal off of it early. Then they were able to go out, drive it down, and get a touchdown, punch it in with the run, I believe it was. And it seems to be more of the same. Miami currently has the ball on the 12-yard line or the 13-yard line right now to start the second half out. Well, not to start the second half out. Indiana just punted. Miami scored too. Apparently, we weren't watching that. We were talking about Michael Irvin and Antoine Randall L. at that point in time. But
we were talking about Michael Irvin when Michael Irvin was probably celebrating down there.
Yeah, Michael Irvin was
celebrating
on all fours barking while I was talking about. Well, nobody was knowing that he was drafted in 1988, 11th overall to the Dallas Cowboys.
Just didn't click.
And now, Michael, what's been going on in Indiana? What do you like about this Indiana football team and the way that they really got to where they are right now?
I love how much they just play as a team. Like, I don't know if I've ever watched like a college football team play more like just collectively as a team as they do. They don't have the most talent in the country, but they are in the right spot at the right time on every single play, it seems like. I got to go watch them in person at the Peach Bowl against Oregon, and just like it felt like every 50-50 ball they won. Fernando Mendoza's putting that ball in the right spot. The receivers are in the right spot. And then vice versa on defense, DBs are where they need to be. Nobody's, there's no receivers running free downfield. Nobody's missing assignments, blocking assignments on the offensive line. Everybody's picking it up. They're just, it's amazing just how well coached they are.
Yeah, they just get another big stop on a third down there. Miami's going to be punting from the shadow of their own goal line. Actually, the punter's going to be sitting in the end zone as Miami punts it away here. Indiana going to have great field position for another drive.
Now, JT, on the other side of things, Miami, what have they been doing throughout this college football playoff that's really, struck your eye?
Not much good. I mean, they've been trying to establish the run game in this one. They've been trying to establish the run game. I know you're holding Indiana to only 10 points so far in this game, but, I mean, offensively, you cannot get anything going. I mean, you have the one touchdown to show for it, but all these drives are ending quick. Like, we just saw a 3-and-out.
They're doing the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia this year?
We're talking about college.
Dude, come on. Oh,
Whether
yeah,
we're
sorry.
talking about college football.
The time of possession in this one is Indiana has held the ball for 22 minutes, and Miami only had the ball for 14 minutes. That's not a good thing. You want to win that time of possession battle. You want to, especially against a team like Indiana, you need to hold the ball as long as possible. You need to have these long drives going. Miami has been getting stopped just on offense like it's nothing, and Indiana's been able to get the ball back and take more time off the clock. And if you have the lead, you're going to end up winning the game if you take all the time off the clock. I think this is a great game that we're seeing so far, very defensive battle. I've seen very few mistakes, very few penalties in this one. I like what I'm seeing, but Miami just needs to get their offense going.
JT, I apologize for starting to moan in the middle of your
You're
monologue
good,
there. Akeem Messidor for Miami was very close to getting a strip sack on Fernando Mendoza right there. That would have been a huge moment in the game. Fernando Mendoza managed to hold on.
Well, see, I think this has been a great game on both ends of it. Indiana now still up 10-7, 7:26 left in the third quarter. Indiana with the ball at it looks like 35-yard line. They're on 35. They just get a run right there.
Yeah, about a 10-yard run. That's going to set them up for a third and medium.
Now, this college football playoff seems like it's been dominated throughout by conversations of just why, specifically the group of five, shouldn't be allowed in the playoff anymore. It's been people complaining about James Madison, people complaining about the fact Tulane got in there. And if you would ask somebody 3 weeks ago before they went and they beat Texas A&M, there was people complaining about Miami getting into this thing. So really,
People complaining about Ole Miss getting in.
Where can we start with trying to – well, first of all, I think I asked this question. Do you think that the current format is right for the college football playoff?
Brandon? No. You know how me and you feel about it. Absolutely not. No, not at all. If I had it my way, we'd be doing the BCS again. If it were up to me, we can't do that though. Obviously, you can't. I feel like once you open it up to 12, you can't go backwards anymore. Yeah. So keep it at 12. The seeding situation, I think conference championships should matter, but and again, I'm glad that we went away from the fact that if you the top four get the bye, because obviously last year you had Boise State and Arizona State getting the bye, and then you had other teams outside of that having to, the conference champions being outside, and some of those higher seeds being in the 8 through 12 spot. So I like that they did away with that, but I think with the conference bids, first of all, the group of five should have their own playoff. I think we talked about that too at points. Really, Cincinnati a couple years ago was the only team that I really have ever felt like that made the playoff. And even the year they didn't make the playoff in 2020, the year before that, I thought that those two Cincinnati teams could compete with the Power Five.
True.
But I just don't think that we're ever going to see that again at this point, especially with the way the transfer portal is now. Every Power Five school has a leverage over those group of five teams now with the portal.
100%.
Now, Aiden, do you like the current format of it, or do you think it needs to change, or what do you like about it?
I think it needs to expand. I do like the group of five teams getting in there. You guys want to hate on these. You guys want to hate on these small market teams and act like the transfer portal. The transfer portal redistributes the wealth of the college football ecosystem, as we can see with Indiana. Yeah. Indiana, who's been a 4-8 team every year for their entire existence, now can be out here and compete with these teams that they couldn't before this system came into play before NIL came into play. I think the combination of NIL with the college football playoff system gives these group of 5 teams a chance and a pitch to be like, okay, if we are the best team in the Conference USA, not in the Conference USA, that's a terrible conference, in the AAC, in the American Athletic Conference, we can go to the playoffs, which is much less of a task than saying, hey, you can get those players that in the past would be like, okay, I'm just going to go to an SEC team, a bad SEC team even, because that's going to be better for me to play against better people. But now we're going to have a big game. Guaranteed. If we win the AAC, we're going to go and have a great game with one of those big teams that you were never going to get a chance to play in the past.
Well, my problem with group of 5s getting right now, I don't have a problem with a single group of 5 getting in. I do think that we need to raise the standard on it, though. I don't think an automatic bid for a group of 5 winner is in. I think that maybe if you finish, I think that you don't want
to make it impossible for him to get in, but you want to make it impossible.
No, I want him to. I was about to say, if you have teams you go back, the team that everybody talks about was this 2007 Boise team, or Boise State team. What I want to happen, and I was really against that at the start of the college football season, and my mind has kind of changed on it. It's the top 12 teams I feel like should be in the playoffs. And if there's a group of 5 team that's good enough to go through that schedule that they have, finish undefeated, and prove themselves and be in the top 12, let them go at it. That Boise State team back in the day, that 07 one everybody talks about, they would have been in there. That Cincinnati team that Michael was just talking about,
Boise State
they
last
would have
year.
been in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boise State
So
last year.
I really feel like it's just kind of the more that I looked at it, the more I was like, there needs to be some kind of top 12 to go in there. Now, I will say I don't like 12 teams. I don't like a 12-team playoff.
I don't like the 12 teams either. It doesn't make.
I want a combination. I don't think they should go directly back to the BCS. I don't think it should just be 1 and 2 going for the national championship and that's it. Because I hate that there was a lot of teams growing up that I watched. So that 2011 Oklahoma State team, they should have for sure been able to compete for a national championship team, but they lost an overtime game to Texas, and that's what winds up costing them a spot in the national championship game, gets LSU and gets Alabama in there. So I don't think 2's the right number. I liked 4 for a little bit. I don't like that the polls that they're using and the rankings that they're using aren't done by computers. I don't like that humans are going through this eye test with teams. I feel like the computers can get it right. It's a combination.
Dude, I hate the computers, man. A computer doesn't know what a good football team looks like any more than an athletic director at a university does. This is one of the dumbest takes ever, is that we need AI deciding what a good football team is.
I didn't say AI.
What?
Just go get that BCS robot back.
No, dude, the BCS robot did not know ball. That thing did not know ball. Name a team in the college football playoff era that you're like, yeah, they definitely should have gotten in and didn't. Dead silence. Wow, that's crazy, isn't it, guys? Look at how that works. The BCS.
The 2014
almost
TCU
intercepted
team.
by Indiana
I will make
there
a
at the
case for
10-yard line.
them. The 2014 TCU team.
Nah.
That
I
Ohio
don't know.
State wound up getting in.
I was 9 years old. I do not remember it, to be honest with you.
But yeah,
So
I
your
would say
example-
for sure, a
yeah.
team that should have gotten into the playoffs but never got a chance to go to is Florida State in 2023.
And that's
why I'm not for
blatantly
only
untrue.
4 teams.
That team would have got dog walked off the field by anybody that they played.
That's why I'm very torn between it, because you're also looking at Alabama sitting there 11-1. Obviously, you got one more loss, but they got a much harder schedule than Florida State played that season, and they went and beat Georgia on a 29-game win streak. I think that's, and especially without Jordan Travis.
Florida State with no quarterback is losing by 80 to any
like
playoff team that year.
There was
What are we
5
talking
teams
about?
that I think any kind of combination of those 5 teams would have been a great game and would have played against each other.
Except for
Really
Florida
good.
State. That game wouldn't have been
Florida
good.
State was a really good team that year,
And
Aiden.
they lost their quarterback, and they had a guy who couldn't throw a slant.
The biggest problem for Florida State was the fact they had to
their
play
streak
games
was the
without Jordan
defense.
Travis for that.
Jordan Travis was a good quarterback.
Jordan
but
Travis
the
was a
strength
great
of that
quarterback.
team was the defense.
Yes, but you can't win a game with, what was his name, Glenn Brock? That was his name,
Yeah.
right? Awful. One of the worst football.
He won the ACC championship game.
Yeah, because what's the DN's name? Number 11. I can see him. Jermaine Johnson, is that his
And
name?
that may be his name.
Trader right there. Don't like Jermaine. We don't like Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson had touchdown Indiana. Indiana just gets a fumble.
Hold
on. Indiana blocks the punt for a
I'll let you finish
touchdown. Yeah,
before
that's way bigger news than whatever I was just saying. I forgot completely. Who cares about Jermaine Johnson having 4 sacks in the ACC title game and winning Florida State the championship? Indiana's special teams unit that I've been talking about, they've been winning the game in the 3rd phase. pinning them back. They pin Miami back on the 5-yard line. Miami's punting out of their end zone for the second time in a row. Indiana gets a big play, go up 17-7. 5 minutes left in the third. Absolutely massive.
In good old Kurt Signetti fashion, no emotion on his face after that one. Indiana and Kurt Signetti will win this game by however much they want to win this game by. I mean, looking at it and how it's going, Miami is not able to do anything on offense. This game could very easily end. This game very easily could end 31-7, and I would not be surprised.
Oh, Mark Cuban getting ready to write another $1 billion check to Indiana.
7.
I could very well see it.
Indiana misses the extra point.
Now it's definitely not going to be 31. Oh, it is. Did it go in? Oh, it went in.
Off the upright and falls in. It looked like it came back, but it did not.
All right, can we real quick talk about how both of these teams got to the national championship?
Absolutely.
Looking at Indiana, I mean,
they won games in the playoffs.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Facts.
But winning the Big Ten championship against Ohio State, going second round, beating Alabama 38-3, and then beating Oregon by 34 points.
Great.
They well deserved. This might be the best team. Nobody touches 2019 LSU.
Yeah. They might.
This team is very, very. This is the closest we've seen to that 2019 LSU team, but it's not even like the stars of the team. Like you think 2019
that team
LSU
was a pure talent team.
You have a pure talent team. This team wins in the trenches like no other team that I've ever seen before.
I think Kurt Signetti could find a way. If there's anybody that I could count on to find a way to beat that 2019 LSU team, give Kurt Signetti 3 weeks. See what he can do against them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I've gone back and forth. I didn't think there was ever going to be a team that I even thought of
against that 2019
could
LSU. Yeah.
like compete with that 2019 LSU team. But
I'm still not convinced. I'm not that it would be a complete and utter blowout, but like I thought, the Clemson game, the national title they played in that game, Clemson just came out with fireworks. They're up 17-7 that game. People forget about that. They had a 10-point lead in that game against LSU, and then it was just taking shots to Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, and nobody could do anything about it. AJ Terrell, good freaking corner, great corner. He got cooked.
Destroyed.
I mean, it was terrible. He couldn't do anything.
That was bad. That was a bad time for that defense.
Yeah, it's a bad time for a lot of defenses. They have to play Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Not a good time.
But Thaddeus Moss, dude.
Thaddeus Moss.
That year.
I mean,
Clyde Edwards-Helaire at running back, dude. Oh my gosh. What was the Lloyd Cushenberry the third at center, leading that O-line? What a team.
Name.
Oh, I love Lloyd Cushenberry.
I still do think that 2019 LSU team is the undisputed, just best team that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put them against any other team that you try to put up against, like even that 0-2 Miami team everybody glamours about. A team that nobody really thinks of in that conversation, though, that I always bring is 1995 Nebraska.
I knew you were going to say it because that's such an old head take.
The problem with 1995 Nebraska is I was 11 years away from being born, and you were 11.
Hey, I was a year from being born, okay? That was a year before I was born. I just barely missed out on that. I was born in time to watch the Falcons lose the Super Bowl, though.
Two times.
The first time.
There you go. Looking at Miami and how they got here, first round playing Texas A&M, get the win 10-3. They go on to the Cotton Bowl, play Ohio State, prove that they're frauds 24-14, and then go on to play Ole Miss, of course, without their head coach, and they go on and win 31-27 to get to this moment where they're currently down 17-7 with
what a hit.
Hammered.
And an unbelievable
No flag.
Dude, this Indiana defense plays like no defense I've seen before either. Like this undisputed number 1 defense in the league. I mean, you could maybe put Oklahoma up there, but at the same time, Indiana is playing like unreal football. And the way they hit, like Carson Beck took some hits earlier in the game. But I mean, Miami's defense at the same time was hitting Mendoza early in the game as well.
They still are. They got a sack on that last drive.
Can I just say I'm very proud of the fact these referees are just letting them play out there.
I love
They're
it.
not calling fouls. Like that Fernando Mendoza hit in the first quarter. I don't think that should have been any kind of unnecessary roughness or anything.
Beautiful.
You're playing football. Busted lips happen.
Yeah.
I know. I was saying it was awesome. I was a fan.
I don't think there was that big of a problem with it. I mean, he did fake like he had the ball, so you're going to get hit. But also Miami, it's the national championship, and you're going to try and get as many hits on the other team's quarterback as possible. Like, if they're cheap hits, you might not get away with it, but at the same time, like, that hit, I'm a fan of it. I love football.
No such thing as a cheap hit in the college football national
we're not New
championship
Orleans
game.
Saints bounty gating this thing. But
Yeah.
there's some
But they're definitely saying hit Mendoza as much as possible and scare him back there. So they're
make him uncomfortable. I was about to say, don't hurt him, just make him feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, have him be worried that
What a
his left
play.
tackle can't block.
Backyard football from Miami gets him down to
just have
Indiana's
about a
35.
25-yard pass here by Miami.
I thought you were going to say 20 seconds in the pocket, which is the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
Able to just scramble around, direct his receiver on a just cross route, ran completely across the field, got open on it.
Can we just shout out the
25
Miami
yards.
offensive line unit?
Both
going
great teams
through
in the
and just
trenches.
keeping Carson Beck, for the most part, clean this whole entire game.
That's what $20 million gets you, Brandon. The NIL department.
Yeah, and I mean, Mario Cristobal cut his teeth at Alabama as an offensive line coach. That's always been his emphasis. Coached up Penei Sewell out there at Oregon. This is what he's done. He's created great offensive linemen. He's got another with Maui Toa, his right tackle, who's out on the screen pass. Didn't touch anybody on that play after I hyped him up. My bad to Mr. Maui Toa. Jinxed
Now,
him.
that's interesting because that was the first third down conversion Miami had in this entire game. So
Exactly.
They're now 1 for 9 on third down conversions in the game.
Oh.
And I really think that Miami's still in this. This isn't anything that – I don't think Indiana's going to run away with this game. Miami's got some fight in them. If there's anything that we've learned in the college ball playoffs with Miami.
Miami just got down into the red zone. They just got down to the 11-yard line.
Got called back. His knee was on the ground when he caught the pass.
Yeah.
They're back on
it took away like 10 yards from it.
Aiden, you're like 10 seconds behind, brother.
Oh, sorry. Malachi Tony. Yeah, Malachi Tony down to the 11.
They just got the yards back.
My bad. Let's see. Can I go up here?
They got those yards right back. They're right back in the red zone.
I'm just behind. That's
Refresh
unfortunate.
that page, Aiden.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this Miami team is finally managing to drive down the field. And
how many seconds y'all got left on the clock right now?
We got just a minute. We just hit a minute left in the third quarter.
Okay, that synced up perfectly if it was right when you said
Indiana
it. So
up 17-7.
we're gonna hope we're synced
Ball
right
at
now.
the 12-yard line. Carson Beck gives it to
the running back. Runs off tackle to the left. That's
about 4 yards.
4-yard gain.
And Miami's driving inside, trying to look to make this a one-score game.
We're gonna have one more play before the end of the quarter. Hey,
the only way they don't make this a one-score game is if the kicker misses another field goal, like we've seen Miami's kicker do this entire playoffs, or they just secretly have Ben Johnson there that's going to go for it on fourth down.
I think they go for it on fourth down. I don't
think you go for it at all.
I think you go for it here no matter what. I mean,
hate
this is your
analytics.
This is your first. This is your first drive where you're able to actually drive the ball down the field. You're gonna take advantage of having this good field position right now. I think that Miami gets in the end zone here. This is gonna take it to the end of the third quarter, 17-7 currently. Miami is gonna score next play. As soon as we come out of the out of the break, Miami is going to get in the end zone, and this is going to be a 3-point game going into the fourth quarter. Hold the fours up. I mean,
no, that's weird, dude. Why would you do that?
Right, while we hold the fours up and they go into the fourth quarter of this game, we are going to go into a break here on our college football national championship special here. This is a Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
Cross 'em up. Live from Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. We got you covered with the men's and women's basketball teams. Shooting a three, make it with ease, crossing you up, now you on a meme. And then they popped out and did it again like Baby Keem. Tune in 1 hour before tip-off of select home games this season for the West Georgia Wolves basketball teams. For the full list of live coverage, visit wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network from inside the Coliseum.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Cross 'em up, cross 'em up. Live from Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. We got you covered with the men's and women's basketball teams. Shooting a three, make it with ease, crossing you up, now you on a meme. And then they popped out and did it again like Baby Keem.
Tune in 1 hour before tip-off of select home games this season for the West Georgia Wolves basketball teams. For the full list of live coverage, visit wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network from inside the Coliseum.
Welcome back in, everybody. If you are just now joining us, we are on the Playbook College Football National Championship Special.
That's exactly
Currently,
what it is.
Indiana up 17-7, heading into the fourth quarter. Aiden, what's been happening on the field throughout that third quarter?
In the third quarter, at least the 10 minutes that I got to see of it, which did not include the Miami touchdown, I still don't know how they scored, if somebody could inform me on that. I saw some beautiful special teams play from Indiana. That was the marquee plays of the quarter, came from Indiana on special teams. They pinned Miami back on their 12-yard line, got them to a 3-and-out, got the ball back on their own 45, pinned Miami back on their own 5-yard line again, and then ended up blocking the punt on that drive, getting the touchdown, which really changed the momentum of the game. Now we have Miami driving down. Miami on the 5-yard line on the 4.5-yard line, 3rd and 1 to go. Carson Beck sits under center. Malachi Toney comes in motion. Fake the toss to him. Fullback dive up the middle. It's a touchdown for Miami. 17-14 in Hard Rock Stadium.
Mark Fletcher again. So Mark Fletcher had that first touchdown earlier. It was a 2-play, 62-yard drive, 57-yard rush for Mark Fletcher Jr. And now getting in the end zone again to possibly make this a 3-point game. And all of a sudden, Miami is right back in this one. I mean, this is their first good drive that they've had, other than the one unbelievable breakout run that they had.
Yeah, beautiful play design on that one. Fake the toss out to Malachi Toney, get the whole defense moving to the right, hit a little counter to Mark Fletcher coming back when the whole defense is flowing the other way. Great play design, and their kick is good to make it 17-14. 3-point game with 14 minutes and 57 seconds to go here.
That's a great call, Aiden.
Thank you, sir.
If you've never thought about doing play-by-play, you need to start.
I've never done it, but, you know, I've heard a lot of play-by-play in my time, watched a lot of sports, so it kind of, you know, you kind of know what to say in those moments, I guess, just by proxy of hearing them all. And they show that Carson Beck play again where he had 25 seconds in the pocket. That was the first third down conversion Miami's had in this game.
Yep.
And that really, I mean, set the tone. Malachi Toney with a big screen, end up punching it in. Great drive from Miami.
Yeah, we're seeing
beautiful game in
the way that Miami's gotten back into this game is on the ground, and that's really the teams that have had the most success this year against Indiana have been Ohio State and it's been Penn State, and those are two teams that really went through and ran the ball down Indiana's throat for a good 2-3 quarters of the game that they played in there.
Yeah.
Other than like Indiana is just wound up pulling away from both of them late in the game. But it's Miami getting this run game
They didn't
going.
pull away from Ohio State. Ohio State was 13-10. They had to miss the field goal. That wasn't a pull-away game. That game almost went to overtime. What? Sorry. Not to step on your point there.
I did mention this earlier.
It was a good point.
I did mention this earlier with this Miami team is they had.
I tried to rebuttal.
They had 40 or 50 rushing yards, and I mentioned they needed to get the ground game going. They needed to start running the ball because they could not get anything going. And what do? They take over half of their plays on that drive were running plays.
Yeah.
And they managed to take a long drive down the field. I mean, we're finally seeing Miami figure out how they could possibly beat this Indiana team.
Maybe this Indiana team couldn't stop Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We're too busy talking about Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. CEH is the real problem for this Indiana team.
Exactly. And Miami has more total yards than Indiana in this game.
And more national titles all time, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, Indiana has 0.
Don't think that plays a
5-0 in that
factor.
part.
So what Aiden said was true.
Scoreboard.
Something else, they also have 0 5-stars, and they're currently winning this game.
That was a bar.
So I think this Indiana team, Michael mentioned this earlier, this is a team of just guys that want to play. And, I mean, it sounds funny, but these are literally just guys, like 3 stars, 4 stars, that none of them are insanely talented players. But
that's not fair.
They're such a well-rounded team, like guys on the defense that are able to work together to have the best defense in college football. And then on offense, you have Fernando Mendoza, and you have amazing guys that are not 5-star talent, but they're 3- and 4-star talents that are able to all, of course, work together. I mean, it's it's a team. I mean, Indiana is a football team, but they're the definition of a team. They're playing together.
I think Kurt Cignetti really needs to change the way these like 24/7 on-3 rivals look at talents coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Because those places really focus on the physical attributes that somebody has coming out of high school and not their production on the field. Kurt Cignetti does the opposite, where he looks at what does a guy do day in, day out on the football field. How does he play?
I think
I would also argue, too, though, that they're not giving these players ratings and they're 25 years old either.
Yeah, I was about to say, experience plays a big thing in this. And some of these players coming out of high school, you can say, oh, they wasn't 3 stars or they wasn't 5 stars. But that was 5-6 years ago most of the time for a lot of these guys on Indiana's team. So there's a lot of growth within a lot of these players, and they've been playing college football. They have a whole lot of experience here.
Great pass breakup for Miami there.
And I think that's what Indiana's kind of relied on. They've relied on experience and people you've played college football and you've been good at it. The results have been on the field, and it's been good. So we're going to bring you in Indiana, and Kurt Cignetti has been really good at doing that.
I think that's simplifying a little bit of what Kurt Cignetti did, because even before NIL and the transfer portal was huge, he was able to put together great teams at James Madison of guys that were underrated talents, guys that had the talent coming out of high school, and he could develop it and make it great on the football field without bringing in 30 transfers from these different programs. I think Kurt Cignetti is great at identifying talent in high school that is maybe undersized, maybe not the biggest, the fastest, the strongest right now, get them in, and they're good football players, not great weight room guys or great track guys per se.
Yeah, I want to mention one thing before this last pass right there for about 15, 20 yards. These quarterbacks have almost the exact same stat line. Yeah. Both of them 12 for 20, so 60%, and 115 yards to 116 yards, almost identical QBR. These quarterbacks are not having a big impact in this game right now.
This has looked like a matchup between the 2 best teams in the country.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like I can definitively say these are the 2 best teams in college football this year.
I was gonna ask, could there have been a better matchup? But right now, what I'm seeing out of both of these teams, I don't think I'd rather have a different match. I wouldn't rather have another matchup.
I
think this is a great matchup between 2, like Aiden said, 2 of the best teams in college football.
Another pass rush win for Ruben Bain there. Gets past the big right tackle over there at Indiana and is able to put pressure on Fernando Mendoza and force him to scramble for a 1-yard rush.
Nobody even looked at him, which you cannot do with.
Well, that looked like that may have been designed.
Yeah, it was probably a down block RPO on that. Sorry, my bad to the guy there. It was not his job to block.
Yeah, went untouched. But, still, you cannot do that against a guy who is most likely going to go top 10 in the draft. Top 5 even.
Well, see, that's why that's another thing of why. That's another thing of why Ruben Bain is going to be one of the top draft prospects. Is a whole lot of defensive end, that play works.
Yeah,
and they don't get there. But Ruben Bain is able to go through, know what's happening.
Well, a lot of defensive ends, what you teach them on that is when the guy goes down, you're supposed to fill in right there behind him and look for the play back. But Ruben Bain has that natural feel for the game where he can just go. He can read the play. When you're coached to do differently in that situation, he can know what's going to happen and end up getting pressure anyways.
We have Indiana here on a 3rd and 5, up 17-14, 11:45 left in the 4th quarter. Coming up to the line of scrimmage.
Fernando Mendoza looking down at Pat Coogan.
I'm really wanting to see.
Award.
I'm wanting to see one of these quarterbacks just make an insane play. I'm just waiting for it.
There you go. Oh, he did. Oh,
Elijah Surratt wasn't looking back.
Yeah, great throw from Fernando Mendoza. Would have been right there on the shoulder if Surratt looked at it.
4th and 5, but they are in field goal range.
I give credit to Miami's defense right now. They're playing great against the Heisman winner, and it's like we're seeing lockdown coverage right now. Mendoza only having 150 passing yards in this game, not even.
But.
What I was just going to mention too is like shouting out Miami's defense. The fact that you look at Indiana all season, they've always been in 3rd and 2. They're the best 3rd down team in the country, and it's not even close. Yeah. Like Ohio State's number 2 statistically, and they're like looking up at Indiana, like how far Indiana is ahead of them. But Miami's had them in 3rd and long repeatedly tonight, which is not something Indiana's had to do all season.
Well, the key to getting to be where you're a good 3rd down team is being a good 2nd down team. And getting to where you're at like 3rd and 2s and 3rd and 3s all the time instead of having to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Yeah, big moment here, 4th and 5 in Miami territory. Kurt Cignetti goes for a timeout, wants to talk over the decision they're going to make, and Marty McFly just popped up on my screen.
I think
we'll find out a little later, I reckon.
I think that you absolutely have to kick this field goal. That's what I think.
That's a
long
field goal. Yeah, it's like a 55-yard field goal there, and it's still a one-possession game. I think going for it.
I think it's.
You got to think analytically, man. You got to let the AI do the thinking for you sometimes. This is what I was saying earlier.
No.
Sometimes the computers do know best.
Yeah, this is completely off topic, but I'm pretty sure I forget which country it is. I think it's Dubai. There's some country that has like an AI in their cabinet right now.
Like in the that's
like
awesome.
in their presidential cabinet. Like it's like it's a position. Like they gave an AI an official position.
College football.
Wild to me.
Aiden is
Hold
looking.
on, I'm doing a little bit of research. Albania.
Albania, my bad.
Shout out to Albania, the Minister of State for Artificial Intelligence. Well, that's a terrible source. You're asking an AI about artificial intelligence? It seems a little biased, in my opinion.
Do not condone it.
All
I
right.
do not like robots in my college football.
You were just talking about how great the BCS system was.
Whoa.
We need to bring the
This is
BCS
different.
robot back.
Hey, that's not
That's
AI,
a different
though.
computer. That's a
Not AI.
computer that knows common
Oh, yeah,
sense.
that's an AI that I like, so it's different. Sure.
We're supposed to be talking about college sports now.
Yeah, we're
I don't
talking
know
about
what
college
happened.
football. We're talking about
The
AI.
political state of Albania.
I want
Yeah.
All right, back to this 4th down call. I think you got to go for it. Like Aiden mentioned, this is a 3-point game right now, and if you kick the field goal, it's still a 1-possession game either way. I think if you're Indiana, you have to go for this. I think Kurt Signetti is a very aggressive play caller, and I think that he needs to absolutely go for this here.
Did y'all know that Robert Kraft owns the Israeli Football League? Still a fun fact there. It's called the Kraft
I'm still
family.
thinking that Kurt Signetti goes out, and I think they kick a field goal here. I think that they for sure need to go, and they need to kick this field goal. Get those points on the board. Say, Miami, you've only scored. Make Miami go down and be like, if you're going to get the lead on us, you're going to have to go down and score a touchdown.
Rebuttal.
Apply a little bit of pressure on them.
They're going to miss the field goal. Miami's going to have good field position, and then they're cooked.
The way that Kurt Signetti's players execute, I don't think that this kicker would miss that field goal.
No.
I think
He's too locked in.
I think that Indiana has played amazing defense in this game, and the only way that they've been able to – the only time they've let Miami score was that last drive because they finally got a drive going with the run game. But if you can manage to stop the run game, I think I'd feel pretty confident in kicking the field goal here just because if you have that much faith in your defense, and, I mean, you should. It's Indiana, one of the greatest defenses that we've ever seen. I think that you should have that confidence. You should probably kick the field goal, but I like watching football. I like being aggressive. I want more points, and if there's an opportunity to get more points, I think you go for it.
I mean, I can at least respect it a little bit because this is saying we're going to play to win this game. We're not going to play to not lose. We're not going to play safe for this play call.
Wow. What a grab. On 4th and 5, they do go for it, and Mendoza throws an absolute beautiful back shoulder.
We just got the play. And
a beautiful back shoulder ball. The DB was going absolutely nowhere. Unreal catch. Basically both feet in bounds. That would have been a catch in the NFL too. Unreal.
Brother,
and that's why you go for it. That's why you have that opportunity. You have the Heisman winner. You have Fernando Mendoza, who is going to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft this year. I mean, why would you not go for it in that case?
I don't like the decision, but I can at least respect it a little bit. And that's simply on the basis of you're playing to win and you're not trying to play safe.
Kurt
Just
Signetti.
play to not lose.
Kurt Signetti loves putting points on the board. And if you thought that he
for
wasn't
the first time when he hears he's got Brandon Dyer's approval to go for it on 4th down. That's what he's been waiting on this whole time.
I mean, shout out to Philip, by the way, sitting at home watching this. He's just feeding in. He's even in his own live chat right now to me. So
he was appreciating what Aiden was bringing up earlier about the Israeli Football League. And
so now Indiana has the football 14-yard line now, 2nd and 5. Just a run up the middle and get right back to that 3rd down and 3-4 situation, somewhere around there, either 3 or 4.
It's going to be 3rd and 3.
It's going to be a long 3 if it's a 3.
I mean, I think that Kurt Signetti, I mean, we know him as a coach who loves to put points up. I mean, against Oregon, he put up 56 just because he wanted to. I mean, if you thought that he was going to kick the field goal there, come on. Like, let's be real. He wants as many points
that is a long
as
5.
possible.
3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. They want to gain it all on that play.
4.5.
I'm sorry,
3rd and
guys.
5.
I may need to get some new glasses.
Ooh.
And here is Mendoza overthrow. Now I feel like
I have to have a
get him
delayed.
out there now.
I have to have a
feel like
delayed reaction, but
you've got to.
I think you go for it again.
You got to kick it.
I don't know. I think now
you
you got to kick it. You're within safe field goal range now. Like, you're within field goal range to the point to where if he misses this, he's cut from the team.
Respect
like,
to-
that's the situation that we're dealing with right
At this
now.
point, you got to make Miami drive down the length of the field, I
A
think.
little
too,
late
at
to
this
cut
point.
your kicker at this point. I mean, fourth quarter of the national
Like,
championship.
Kurt Signetti is going to go out there and kick a game-winning field goal himself.
Burn
He
another
wants a
one. Burn
timeout.
another
What is
one.
he doing? Kurt
Oh, what is
Signetti's
Kurt doing?
capitulating in the big moment of the national title game.
Oh, he's getting
He knows what he's
flustered,
doing.
He
boys.
is.
He knows
This
what
is-
he's doing.
He's finally starting to get flustered.
Oh, he's yelling at people.
The pressure got to
Oh,
him.
he's screaming.
Well, that's
Kurt
just normal
Signetti.
Kurt Signetti.
No, this isn't normal Kurt Signetti, man. He looks scared right
anxious.
now.
He has
He
no
looks
emotion,
worried.
but he somehow looks
A
anxious.
warm yellow liquid flowing down the thighs of Kurt Signetti right now in Miami.
As he tries to make this decision here for 4th and 5 from about the 14-yard line.
He's seen Miami's kicker doink one off the uprights earlier in this game.
Well, they don't have Miami's kicker. He trusts his kicker more than Miami's kicker.
Oh.
I'd hope so.
I don't know, guys. Look at him. Nobody's even near him right now.
Yeah, they know not to get near him.
Nah.
It looks like they're trying to keep Mendoza
Okay,
and that
Mendoza's
offense
in the
out
huddle.
on the field. I love this.
I'd like for you
I
to
love
tell
this.
me if there was anybody around him on that last Penn State drive, or that last drive of that Penn State game whenever they were going down. And who was Cooper? Got that touchdown against Penn State. That like unreal.
The one foot,
one,
one toe,
yeah,
one toenail in the end zone.
Oh, he's going for it, boys.
Kurt Signetti
course
sending
he
the
is.
troops out there.
Of course he is. You don't go for it on 4th down
Nah, they're gonna try to-
in
they're
the
gonna-
drive and then
And then
not
they try
proceed
and
to
drive.
go for it.
What do you guys think of a
Same
Fernando
distance.
Mendoza drop kick field goal here?
Ooh, I don't hate that idea.
If that happened, that'd be the greatest thing in the
It's
history
not
of
going to
football.
happen.
I don't believe so.
Oh
That'd
my
be the-
goodness.
Oh
my goodness.
Fernando
Oh
Mendoza.
my goodness.
Fernando
Shoots to the
Mendoza
left,
does it.
my
breaks a
goodness.
tackle, dives into the end
my
zone.
goodness.
What a play for Indiana.
Unbelievable.
Look at
Fernando Mendoza runs it
Indiana
in.
over here going and creating a 9-point lead for themselves, 23-14.
I'm telling you.
over Miami.
Kurt Signetti wants as many points as possible. If you have the Heisman on your team, get the ball in his hands, and he's going to find a way, no matter
There's
what.
a reason that he won the Heisman Trophy, boys, and I think that,
That
might
is
just be the
putting
reason
your
right
body
there.
on the line. Took a insane hit at the end of that.
Took a
when he
few
was,
insane hits, brushed off a few insane hits.
yeah, but that last hit, diving into the end zone, took a shot in the spine, but gets right back up and says, "Hey, Coach Signetti, that's how you do it right there. That's how you do it."
That was a good play.
It was a great
Tebow
play
days running
by
the football.
Indiana.
And listen, they're going to go into a break here, up 24-14 in this fourth quarter. And we will go into a quick break here on Wolf Sports Network. This is the Playbook. You're watching the National Championship Special.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Cross them up, cross them up. Live from Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. We got you covered with the men's and women's basketball teams. Shooting a three, make it with ease, crossing you up, now you on a meme. And then they popped out and did it again like Baby Keem. Tune in 1 hour before tip-off of select home games this season for the West Georgia Wolves basketball teams. For the full list of live coverage, visit wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network from inside the Coliseum.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just now tuning in to us, this is the Playbook College Football National Championship Special. We have Indiana, who just took a 24-14 lead over the Miami Hurricanes midway through the fourth quarter. We're going to be sitting around all the way up until this game ends. We've been talking a whole lot about the college football playoff, and I know there's somebody here at the table that has some pretty strong feelings about it. And that'd be Michael Miller. Michael, what do you think would be the first thing that you would fix about the college football playoff?
The group of five is gone. We're getting them out of here. I'm sick of it. Aiden, I can't. No more of it. If I have to watch freaking Tulane or Memphis or Cincinnati, even for that matter,
dude, you're so close to getting your mic muted again.
Get out of here. Okay, I cannot take this anymore. We gotta get rid of that. Like I said, I want to go backwards. We can't do that. We're keeping it at 12. No expanding. This 24 team nonsense that's been going on in the media. Brandon, if that happens, I don't know what's going to happen to my health. I don't know what's going to go on.
I guess it's just because I grew up with the BCS, and it was honoring kind of like that regular season and the fact that you can't mess up one time. And I think that you expand this playoff even more than it already is. You devalue the regular season a lot. And I think
here's the thing, too, and you're going to agree with this, too, because you watch Josh Pate as well. And I agree. Josh Pate makes this point all the time, and I love it because I agree with it. College football is a very unique sport, in my opinion, because it's all about the regular season. The regular season is the best part of the sport. Saturdays in the fall are different than like Sundays in the NFL. I like the NFL. I do. I think the NFL, like the playoffs have been watching the post. Like I've enjoyed watching these NFL playoffs a whole lot more than I enjoyed watching any random NFL game throughout the season this year. In college football, I enjoyed watching Georgia go to Tennessee at 3:30. Week 3 than more than I enjoyed watching the Fiesta Bowl or the Peach Bowl or something like that. I think it's a different sport because of that. And to your point, when you keep adding these teams, you devalue those games that happen earlier on in the year, which, the game of the century, Alabama LSU, that kind of game that happened in 2011. Now it worked out in such a way they ended up playing each other again. But at that point, you Alabama felt like that was it for them. Like that was a game that they had to win to get to the national championship game that season.
Josh Pate's bald, so I don't listen to what he says.
Oh, that's an insane take. You're going to tell me you don't listen to Stone Cold Steve Austin either?
Not on matters as important as the college football playoffs.
So, listen, I think, Michael, you make a really good point there.
On whether I should drink another beer.
I think.
Sorry.
Did you not
listen
to me
the ad read?
two times?
We're going to lose our sponsors.
I think that the college
it's fine if you drink responsibly.
I think that the college football playoff expanding for
as Stone Cold always says,
devalues the regular season that's going on. I think, again, college football is a very unique sport. College football is the only sport where I feel like I want to watch a regular season more than I do the playoffs. And I'm almost at that point with kind of like college basketball. But I'm not like that with the NFL at all either. Like the NFL, I'll watch the NFL when it comes to playoffs. These last 2 weekends of playoff NFL football have felt absolutely amazing.
I've had a blast.
100%.
Absolutely.
Been great.
But like I was saying earlier, like if I'm watching the Sunday night game in like week 8, like it just wasn't hitting the same for me as it has when I was younger. But like now, like watching all these playoff games have been a lot of fun though.
Sunday night games were a different story though, because then you're like sitting there, you have school the next morning, and you're trying to be as quiet as possible so your parents don't make you go to bed. You're like, next commercial break, you're going to bed, and then you stay as quiet as possible, and you're shaking for the next 3 minutes trying to stay quiet, and then you get back, and your parents completely forgot. You get to watch the rest of the game. I miss those nights.
I have more memories almost along that lines of being in school trying to watch day games of college basketball whenever the NCAA tournament comes around.
Mm-hmm.
They're like being in like that 11:30 like English language arts class.
How were you
And
even watching it? They didn't have like.
If you
phones or
had,
computers
Bro,
then,
I'm
did
not
they?
that ancient, Aiden. Come
if you had the
on.
right
Were you, like,
teachers,
sneaking a TV in?
shout out my teachers.
We had a guy who
at my
came
high
in and
school.
spoke Morse code. That's why.
Yeah, to give updates.
If you went
You're trying
to
to sneak into the school telegraph.
What a freaking catch, by the way. Hold on one second.
Hey, that's a
Hey,
spoiler,
Marvin.
dude. I'm not there yet. Oh wow, that was great.
I
Yeah,
want
that was
to say shout out to my teachers in high school because when March Madness came around, we put the games on.
We did too. We had
I love those teachers that are like, all right, class, we're gonna have this game on. They might give you some busy work, but I mean, like most of the time they just like, oh yeah, you could sit, you could talk. We're gonna throw the game on.
We had a projector.
Like,
Oh, he
dude,
dropped it. It wasn't a great catch.
I
He
remember-
dropped the ball, by the
oh.
way. It was not. It was not.
It was
caught
almost
at
a
all.
great
Great
catch.
effort.
It was like I remember just sitting in art class watching that. I think it was a Duke Lehigh game.
Yeah, and they had to roll the TV in. And
We had
Oh,
a projector. We had a projector in the gym, and you could go like that. It set up in front of the bleachers in the gym, and we'd go in and watch the stuff in the gym. It was awesome.
You had a whole entire presentation to watch March Madness.
Yeah, it was
in
great.
high
It
school?
was awesome, dude.
Brother, where'd you go to high school? Was that is
Beautiful
it
Tryon, Georgia, man. Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh, and that's where I'm gonna send my kids to school.
Shout out
All of it,
Tryon.
they
Go
need
with
to
the
be
Bulldogs
watching March
up there.
Madness
Yeah.
instead of going
Tryon
to
and
school.
Lafayette knew what was up.
Yeah,
That's what I gotta say.
Coach Ricky Ross, man, he would set it up, set up the projector. He would always wear these bright orange pants too. He loved March Madness more than anything. I was at a baseball game and he was coaching. He was the first base coach. Dude, have me go over to the first base so I could give him live updates of the games. It was when Oral Roberts beat Ohio State. He was going crazy while coaching first base actively at a baseball game.
And
Fun
so,
little story there about March Madness.
going back to the national championship, Indiana still up
Big conversion there.
24-14.
Huge conversion
Big
on third down.
and 15 conversion by Miami. I think that's their second one of the game.
Yeah,
Is that,
I'm telling
have
you-
they had one since the last one?
I don't believe so, and that's gonna last one they scored a touchdown off of. So
I want to say my guy Braylon just texted me and said Carson Beck's either going to go 6 for 6 on this drive and a touchdown, or he's going to throw an insane pick.
Oh, it don't look like he's
there
going to
goes
get the
Malachi
six.
Tony.
There is
It doesn't
no
look
in
like he's gonna get a
between,
six.
and right now
Malachi
that is proving to
Tony.
be very true because Carson Beck is going absolutely insane on this drive to keep Miami in this game.
Puts them in field goal range so that they can at least knock it down to a one-possession game. Huge play there by Malachi Tony.
He plays so much like Percy Harvin, dude. I was thinking about it on the drive over here of just how much he reminds me of watching some Percy Harvin, maybe Tavon Austin on his best day when he's really going.
I
for it.
don't know about that.
When Malachi Tony is on, he can give you a Tavon
I don't
Austin
think he
type
can
of day.
get a Tavon Austin type of day.
He can give you. He's 8 for 93 today with 74 yards after the catch.
That still ain't Tavon Austin.
All right,
It's
man.
Close.
And Tavon
That's
Austin wasn't playing in the
still-
national title game.
Oh,
To be completely fair to him.
oh, that is true. He was doing this against Kansas,
Yeah.
and he was doing this against Colorado.
And keep a close eye on that TV real quick.
On what? They just popped up Carson Beck's girlfriend in the crowd, I think. One of the many.
One of the many. It's a lot of people's girlfriend.
Is that what you were wanting me to keep an eye on there? Okay.
So here comes Indiana. No, Miami with the ball.
Yep.
2nd and 10, 6:44 left in the ball game here, trailing 10 at around, it looks like, 20-yard line?
Malachi Tony taking off
Oh, 22-yard line.
and taking.
Oh, look at
into the
Malachi
end
Tony, your
zone.
guy. Your
Malachi-
guy right there, Aiden. Now that's Tavon Austin
Yeah,
type.
That's
I'll believe you now,
unbelievable.
Aiden.
And in this cold world, fire back.
Greatest mixtape of greatest highlight reel of all time. Go look up Tavon Austin's high school.
Yeah, because nobody's
college.
ever seen that one before.
If Malachi
Yeah,
Tony,
a lot of people have seen it, but if you haven't, go watch it right now.
Do y'all ever watch
And
the
then come
second
back
half of
here.
the highlight video? Like once that song ends, because there's a second half. Like they change songs.
Oh
halfway
yeah,
through.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
It doesn't hit the same.
I don't know.
imagine
Like
having a
video.
highlight reel so long it takes 2 songs to get through.
7 minutes and 32 seconds.
Mine was 2 plays. I mean, you got a guy that's taking 2 whole
got 2
songs.
plays?
I didn't make it past
Yeah,
spring
you-
training.
I-
I didn't even get on camera. I broke my arm in spring training.
My huddle account, I have 2 plays on my highlight reel. And there's a song, but it's 20 seconds long.
Michael, go look up JT's huddle reels.
Don't look
right
up my
now.
huddle tape. We're watching better
Yeah,
football right now.
Turn
so
the Miami
let's
game
not.
off. Malachi Tony with the ripped jersey right now, going crazy.
Kurt Signetti showing how upset he is.
Just pure
with-
disgust, right?
Pure,
there on the face of
yeah.
Cincinnati.
Oh.
You can tell he's very upset.
Somebody's getting shot.
I don't know about that one. I don't know if I take it
maybe
that
maybe
far.
not that.
All right, guys.
But-
My bad. I didn't know where we were going with that
It's
one.
better than Brian Kelly executing players.
Yeah, that is
You
true.
act like it's crazy for a college coach to do it, but we've heard much worse from actual college
And all
football
of a
coaches.
sudden, this Miami team that went scoreless in the first half, going down 10-0 going into the half, all of a sudden 21 points with just over 6 minutes left in this game. It's a 3-point game currently. Yep. Indiana about to get the ball back. And, I mean, what they've been doing good all game is that time of possession. And if they can hold on to the ball for these last 6 minutes, have a very, very slow drive, I'd see them driving down. I don't see him taking a field goal because it'll still be a one-possession game. I would love it because then it comes down to Carson Beck having him.
Carson Beck with the ball to win the
With
game.
a 2-minute drill, maybe.
Oh my
That's the
goodness!
scariest
To win the
sentence
game.
Beck on right there.
In Miami jersey, yeah. In a
I'd be
Georgia
very-
jersey,
I'd
one of
be-
the best sentences you can hear for your team.
Yeah,
'Cause that
I'd
means
be
that there's
very.
an interception up the middle coming.
I'd be very nervous for that. But what we've seen out of Kurt Signetti and his play calling so
Middle
far,
linebacker's getting one to the chest.
what we've seen out of Kurt Signetti and the play calling so far in this game, they're gonna go for it on a 4th down if they're close. They're gonna try and make this be a 2-possession game to give Miami the ball back. I think they have faith in their defense, but what we've seen them going for it twice on 4th down that last drive, maybe they don't have as much confidence as I thought. I mean, that's 2 back-to-back drives that Miami has driven down and scored a touchdown.
Run Fernando Mendoza up the middle every play. He's got the home cooking coursing through his veins right now, and it's making him into like the Hulk as he runs up the middle. He's unstoppable. I reckon if you give Fernando Mendoza 4 carries on this drive, you get 60 yards off of him.
I don't know
probably
about
not.
that one.
No, that's because y'all don't know ball, but that's okay.
No, I think I think you give the ball to Kalen Black. I mean, he's averaging 5.4 yards a carry right now on 14 carries, 75 yards. If you can manage to run this ball, you have one of the best. You win the trench battle. I mean, you're Indiana. You win the trenches like no other team that we've seen. I've said this a million times. I'm going to continue to say it. Like, if you continue to run that ball down Miami's throat, they're not going to be able to stop you. And, I mean, we've seen it in this game that Indiana has been sort of getting that run game going. Aiden's taking a lap around the room. But even Mendoza taking off on some of these runs. We are seeing just absolutely an insane game right now. Like, I'm loving this matchup. I think that we could very easily see this game come down to the last drive and who has the ball last.
Well, I think everybody's talking about how Fernando Mendoza can go down and win Indiana this drive. But I think the crucial part of this drive right here is your offensive line can win you the game on this drive.
100%.
With how well they can block whenever you run the football. Because this is going to be probably a run-heavy drive if they wind up having a long drive. And that's what Indiana wants right now. They only have 7 minutes left in the game. Chew as much clock as you can and try and go down and get a touchdown. And take as long as possible to do it.
I think Miami is 100% going to get the ball back by the end of the game. I think that Indiana is going to not be able to take up all this time. They could. Their best shot is, trying to waste as much clock as possible and getting in the end zone. I mean, if you take up all – I think if you take the clock down to a minute or two and end up getting a field goal out of it, then I think Miami could very easily drive down because we've seen it happen.
You also had a point of Indiana where it's like, if we get a touchdown, we practically almost win this game.
Oh, 100%.
So you may just come out there and be like, hey, this is just going to be the plays that we feel comfortable with as long as that's still a pass play.
Give them your 10 best plays, see what happens.
How about Miami not quitting, though, tonight? Going down 17-7 right there, they responded immediately, and then again going down 24-14 and come back and responding
Well, down 10-0.
There you go.
Yeah, they were down 10-0
at the half.
start.
Can they, get a stop here, get the ball back, and maybe give themselves a chance to win?
A little bit late starting tonight, but now they've come back and they've made this a ball game.
I mean, that's really been the story of Miami's season. They go out there, lose 2 games with 4 games left in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, lose two games, 4 games left to go in the year. Come back, finish out the year strong, get themselves into the college football playoff, get in. People are doubting they should have been in over Notre Dame, who beat them head-to-head. And they come out and they win every single game. Some come from behind wins in there. And they've just battled through everything this whole year. And they force Indiana into a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I mean,
5:45 and the clock's still running.
This Miami team is a team that lost to Louisville and SMU, 2 unranked teams this season. And a lot of people are arguing if they even deserved a playoff spot. And I think they very clearly are showing why they deserved a spot in the playoffs because they've pulled off upset after upset on this playoff run. And, I mean, Carson Beck is somehow managing to do it. I don't know how he's doing it. But Miami's defense is also playing a big key. And, I mean, not every day you get to see Indiana.
Mendoza
getting held
in
to
the
24
shotgun,
points.
trips out to the left. Elijah Surratt comes in motion, goes back out to the left. Running back stays in the block.
There it is.
Out to the man who came in motion, went back out.
Oh!
First down. That's not late. He put his hands up for no
Whoa,
reason
whoa.
there.
You want to try and stay in bounds
First
there,
down
though.
for Indiana.
I think you need to try and stay in bounds as much as possible on this drive. I mean,
Well,
you're trying to take this
That
clock
was
down
not-
to a minute or
wait,
two.
Who was that? That was not Surratt.
I don't think
My
you're-
bad. That was 3, not 13.
I don't know if you're too worried about this more so than as long as we get a touchdown out of it. I think that's your first
I
priority.
think that's your main goal 100%. Yeah. Because then no matter if Miami gets the ball back with 3
Clock-
minutes or
Clock
1
doesn't-
minute.
Clock doesn't stop going out of bounds with more than 2 minutes in college football anymore.
Here's
so
my
it does not
thing,
matter
like, every-
actually at this point anyways. Just remember that.
That is
Here's
true.
my thing. Every drive that I have the football, if I knew going into a drive we were gonna go and score a touchdown if it took 10 pass plays, I don't care if we're up by 1 with 2 minutes left.
For the sake of the game, I want to see Indiana get stopped with a minute or two left on the clock.
Just a power run to the left there.
I would love
5
for them.
yards for Indiana.
I would love for them to just get a field goal and then put the ball in the hands of Carson Beck and this Miami offense that we've seen in this fourth quarter. I mean, proven that they can't be stopped in this fourth quarter. I mean, 2 straight drives, 2 long drives that they've managed to get the run game going. Carson Beck on that last drive went, I think, 3 for 3. Like, we're seeing this Miami offense is finally getting the hang of how to take on this tough Indiana defense. And, I mean, their defense is doing the job, too. Just a 2-yard loss right there by Miami's by Indiana.
Great
It
blitz
would be
there
a good
from
way to put a
Byzantine,
cap
the-
on this
the
7-year
linebacker.
college career by Carson Beck.
Yeah, what a way to end it with a national championship.
3-time national champion. Carson
Just
Beck.
keep believing, guys.
3-time national champion Carson Beck. Never won it as a starter, but
Well, this would be his win as a starter.
this
If
will
he
be
went
his
down to
first.
win it, he
He deserves this one just as much as he deserved the other.
I don't know.
There might be no player less deserving of a national championship than Carson Beck. No, let's not get my hatred in the way of this game right here. As we look at Fernando Mendoza, 2 receivers to his left,
Third
Surratt
and
up
7,
top on the right.
going deep. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh, again.
They win every
great
one.
same
Every
guy.
one they throw, they win.
Every jump ball, they managed to get it done.
Number 80.
Every
that's-
third down. Michael mentioned this
Cooper.
earlier. This is the best third down team in the country. And, I mean, even with a 3rd and 7, like Michael was talking about, they get the 3rd and 2, the 3rd and 3, and they're going to convert. Even 3rd and 7s, 3rd and longs, 3rd and mediums, they managed to convert. They could just throw the ball up and trust that their guys come down with it.
I don't know who number 80 is, but after
Becker.
that, if I'm Indiana's basketball team, I'm making a call.
the exact same play they ran on that 4th and 5 earlier. Just a little back shoulder fade to Charlie Becker.
That is
4 receptions, 67 yards.
Exactly,
tonight.
and now you need to get that run game going.
Oh, yeah, he
and it looks
fitted
like they
right
are.
in with Big Ten basketball.
And Indiana ran this clock all the way
Nearly
down
down,
to just over 2 minutes left, and they are practically in the red zone at this point. If they can manage to get in the end zone, this game is all but over.
We're about to get to a point where they get one more first down. This game's probably over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, Miami still has all 3 timeouts.
They give them to burn them right here. Then
Kurt Signetti has burnt 2 of his timeouts in,
what I like
crucial
to see.
moments,
Great
but not as
crackdown
crucial as
block
this moment
from
right
the
here.
receiver 1 over there at Indiana. Beautiful stuff.
Elijah Surratt, good block.
No, that's
right
Cooper
there.
Jr. Surratt's the receiver.
We hit the 2-minute warning. Indiana with an opportunity to go up by 2 possessions. Most likely they're going to try and go up by 2 possessions here. I don't see an opportunity where they settle for a field goal even on a 4th down.
Well, I think you've already come this far in the drive.
All
I
right,
think that
2
you
minute
just
timeout.
try to close it out.
We want to take a timeout before
I think
this.
we will go to our last break of the evening, guys. Stay tuned with us. This is the Playbook College Football National Championship.
On Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Wait a minute. Is this what I think it is? Wii Sports? Let's try something. Let me tell you all about this show on Wolf Sports Network. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. It's the playbook. Hear us talk about all of college football, basketball, and baseball. Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m.
The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
When you think about college sports, what do you think of?
Campus legends like Haynes King and Diego Pavia.
What if I told you there was a show for that and more?
More?
Playbook is your one-stop listen for college football, basketball, baseball, and UWG sports.
The Bulldogs have Ryan Nemhard, a great point guard, and they are going yard. Gonzaga in 5.
Tune into The Playbook Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. only on Wolf Sports Network.
The Playbook is your home for West Georgia sports this spring. From University Stadium,
And we saw a very well put together offense that was trailing and going into the half, and then comes out in the third quarter and puts themselves up.
to the Coliseum,
We're finishing well at the rim, being aggressive, being physical. A lot of guys are touching the rock. It's been a great start for the Wolves.
and Cole Field.
I hope West Georgia wins. I'm going to be rooting for West Georgia tomorrow.
The Playbook, live every Monday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is the Playbook College Football National Championship Special, and time is winding down. We are at the 2-minute warning of the game. Indiana leading 24-21 right now, but inside the 20-yard line, looking to put this game away. Guys, I think if you're Indiana right here, anything but a touchdown. I don't think I'm settling for anything but a touchdown here.
Scott Van Pelt's still on the
I think
field.
you
The
straight
play's
up
going.
go for the throat right now, and you just make sure that you win this game.
It depends on how much time you kill right here, though. Because, I mean, you could make Miami just have to
Yeah,
drive the length of the field.
this is going to be a clock run. Hey, run the clock down, take your field goal, go home happy maybe. Who knows?
I want to see how Miami would try and play out the rest of this game if Indiana does get in the end zone here.
That's 9 yards,
there's
9.5 yards
right
on first down. Driving it down inside the 15.
Looks like Miami calling their first timeout.
Miami's going to have to take a timeout there.
You know what, though? Before this game ends, a subject that I did want to talk about was if Indiana wins this game, it can be a bad thing for college football and college football coaches as a whole. Because I think now the expectations and how fast that you need to turn around a program and turn around a roster are going to drastically change. Because people are going to say that was the worst FBS team in college football history, and he's managed to come in here and turn it around like this in 2 years.
I'll even add to that. Like, think about the impact on jobs, though. Like the way it used to be, and how it's, and it would really just up until now, you're looking at, if you're a head coach at Indiana, you're looking to move up to go to a spot like Georgia or Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon, whatever. Now, I mean, does it maybe flip? Maybe like Will Stein, for example. Maybe Kentucky's more of an appealing job because there's not the pressure you have at a Georgia or an Ohio State. And apparently, if you win like this at Indiana, you can definitely win like this at Kentucky or even Rutgers.
If
for
you
that
can
matter,
win it
in
like this
Louisiana.
at Indiana, I think you can win anywhere.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Michael. Like, you're seeing coaches now, they're trying to go to better programs, but then you already have that pressure. You already have that standard that you need to meet, or else you feel like you failed in that season. I mean, he had no expectations coming into Indiana, and yet he turned this team around to now on the verge of winning a national championship. I think that you mentioned Kentucky. I feel like that would be an enticing program to go to because you're not expecting a 10-win season. You're not expecting a college football playoff berth.
Let's go to Aiden with the play call.
Okay, Fernando Mendoza in the shotgun, going to hand it off to Black.
And a flag.
That flag down before the play.
No, it looks like
That's going to be a false start.
I know about that face. Kersey
in shambles.
You can't be having that happen at this
That's
point
the last
in the game.
thing you can do right there.
I'm so happy that in less than 2 minutes, I'll never have to see a Carson Beck close-up ever again. One of the things that I'm most
Well, you
looking forward
might.
to.
I was about to say he's going to
He's
make
got a whole NFL career.
You might if he
I
holds
was
up
about
that
to say
trophy.
he's going to play in a couple of preseason games. Okay.
Yeah, guys, I will not be tuning into a Carson Beck preseason game.
You know how crazy it would be
No
if
matter how
Mendoza
much
goes
they-
number 1 and then the Raiders proceed to take Carson Beck in the 6th round?
They could both national championship starting quarterbacks.
Both of the national championship starting quarterbacks go to the same team. What if the Raiders just pull Cleveland Browns and take 3 quarterbacks in the same draft?
All right, black up the middle again.
If anybody would
that's
do that,
gonna
it would
be
be.
a
I thought he
nice
fumbled the
stop.
football.
I did too. I jumped out of my chair.
That would have been unreal. Miami takes their second timeout, and a first down here practically ends this game.
Yep.
Miami's going to have to use their last timeout, and they'll be able to kneel the ball out and win this game.
Watch.
Or
It's gonna be-
Kurt Cignetti wants to get in the end zone one more time.
No, you got to kick the field goal,
No.
I think, in this
Yeah.
situation. Have Miami no timeouts with less than a minute and 50 seconds to drive.
I
down
don't
the
think
field.
so.
Well, it depends. It depends on how close they get right.
I think that I think that either way. So the worst case scenario is Miami gets the ball back, they drive down, they score a touchdown. But if Indiana decides to go for it on 4th down and say they don't get it, you're still up by 3. You're giving Miami the ball back inside their own 10-yard line. I think that you go for it, and if you get it, you seal the game right then and there. If you don't get it, then you're
Like, it
still
depends.
giving Miami.
It just depends on where you're at.
You're still
If
giving
this-
Miami the ball back with about the same amount of time you would if you kick the field goal. Only difference is now they have to score a touchdown versus kicking a field goal to send to overtime.
I think if I'm Indiana, I don't even worry about playing the clock right here, though. Like, I feel like
No, I think-
I
think you
think
go
you
for
run the
what-
ball
I think you have to
here.
run the
I think
ball.
you run the ball here, make them
Cause
burn
them-
that timeout regardless. And then
100%.
if you're close, go for it. If not, kick the field goal.
If it's 4th and less than 3, you go for it here.
All right, Mendoza
Here's the
in the
play call.
shotgun. One tight end.
See, I'm
The
kicking.
play
I'm
Run it to
kicking
the
call.
right.
now.
Yep, it's gonna be 4th and
I'm
5
I'm
coming
kicking
up
the
here.
field goal there. I feel like, well, unless you have a play that you're so confident that you can get 4 yards out of right here.
I think that Kurt Cignetti, we've seen him play aggressive all game with his play calling. I think that they do go for this right here.
I'm not
and
mad.
they try and end the game right here, right now, after seeing how Miami has been able to drive the ball down the field in the 4th quarter. I don't think that he has faith in his defense right now. The last 2 drives, Miami has been able to absolutely dominate this Indiana defense. So I think that he goes for it here. He doesn't have faith in his defense. He's going to put the ball in Fernando Mendoza's hands to try and end this game right here, right now.
I'm not mad if they go for it here.
Cignetti.
Looks like they have the kicking team out. Scratch everything I just said. They're kicking the field goal.
Yeah,
They're going to give Miami the ball back. Carson Beck's going to have the ball in his
I
hands,
said-
needing a touchdown to win the national
This
championship.
was kind of like a 50-50 for me. I wouldn't have cared either way.
Got to kick it. No chance you don't kick
I think
it.
for like
here.
4th and 2 and less.
Well, now we're guaranteed no overtime. We're guaranteed either Carson
Well,
Beck.
Oh, you
We've
missed a
seen,
PAT.
we've seen Miami's kicker miss a field goal.
Exactly.
We've seen Indiana kick one off the upright.
And
They're
it's right down
definitely-
the middle.
If that win from Texas A&M gets the,
There you go.
there it is.
Right down the middle, and all of a sudden, there is no more overtime as a possibility.
Aiden, I thought your cursor mouse there was a towel that got thrown up in the air for some reason.
There-
We're like halfway up the goal.
See, now
post.
here's the problem with kicking the field goal there is there's still so much time. And we're under 2 minutes, but
Clock stops on
Miami,
first downs, too,
Clock
in
stops on first downs now. Miami and Carson Beck have been able to drive the ball down the field like it's nothing in this 4th quarter. And so you're giving Carson Beck and this Miami offense a chance to win the game.
Hey,
They
guys.
run out all this clock. I don't think that Indiana scores if there's less than 30 seconds left on the clock and Miami gets in the end zone.
Could we get a 3-second pause for both of y'all streams so you're not so far ahead of us that everything is spoiled by the time it happens on this last drive? Just a request.
All right, we did it.
Thank you, sirs.
There we go.
Of course.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah, Indiana now leading 27-21, 142 left, about to kick off to Miami.
I
And
think it would be storybook if we see Carson
Ray,
Beck drive
Ray
down and
Lewis
win this
talking
game.
to Carson Beck before he goes out for this last drive.
that might be what does it.
Ray
And
Lewis.
Michael Irvin is out on the field at wide receiver.
So that might have been what happened on that last drive. While the Miami defense was able to lock in those last 20 yards, Ray Lewis might have strapped up the pads one last time and came in there at middle linebacker. We'll never know. But he was looking like a mafia boss on the sideline there in a nice bowler hat and like a Joker green and orange outfit. Beautiful stuff.
Beautiful. I mean, maybe Ray Lewis said something at halftime to this Miami team, just letting them know. I mean, we know Ray Lewis as a locker room guy, you know?
I see that and I instantly think of the Masters.
I mean, that would terrify me. If I'm Carson Beck, I would be absolutely terrified after getting a Ray Lewis pep talk, not to screw up what he cares about more than anything in the world.
What? No, that's going to be the most hyped that I've ever been for anything.
Joey Prater's going insane in the WSN group.
Joey
right
did
now.
not agree with the decision.
He does not like how they're giving Miami the ball back with a chance to win this game.
If you're a football coach and you do something that Joey Prater disagrees with, you're probably making the better decision for your football team.
And that's a rough way to start the drive.
Bro, we're going to have to bring Joey on.
How did they get
for one of
delay
these
game?
to
That did
see
not seem
how
like
Coach is arguing that they didn't bump the clock.
Ray Lewis talked to Carson Beck for too long, cost the team 5 yards on this last drive. Miami's got to get these stars on the sideline under control.
Not a single Miami fan in sight in these stands right now.
Which is crazy to me. It's crazy.
It's
The
in
game's
Miami.
being played in
home
Miami.
field advantage is non-existent. This is home field advantage for Indiana.
First
at
and
this point.
15.
Home stadium.
First and 15 for Miami. Carson Beck in the
Beck.
shotgun.
Oh my goodness!
Carson
One
Beck.
of the most Carson Beck thing you've ever seen right there.
Oh my
Are
God!
they gonna call that a fumble?
They should.
That's not a fumble.
He flipped it. It looked like he
Nah,
flipped the
it's a-
pass.
yeah, it's
They're
a-
gonna call it incomplete
it's
just
a
for the
forward
culture,
pass.
for the game. They're
We're
gonna
do
call
it
that
for the
incomplete.
vibes.
Yeah, he definitely flipped that. He definitely flipped it. They're gonna call it
that wasn't a
incomplete.
fumble.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
2nd and 15 from Miami's own 20-yard line, needing to drive 80 yards
pressure is
in a
on
minute and a
Miami.
half to win this football game.
Great pass rush there from Indiana. The pocket collapsed almost instantaneously. The second that Carson Beck got the ball, he had a man in his face.
Yeah, you don't
Here
want
we
to start
go.
the drive with a delay of game and then almost a disastrous, almost could have been picked off.
2nd and 15
Yep, Malachi
for
Tony
Miami
in motion.
And Carson Beck is missing throws.
Oh my God!
Did it happen again?
Uh-oh. And Carson Beck looks like he's down.
He gives up. Oh, Carson. Oh,
That's
roughing the
not
passer.
That's not how you want to end this game.
Oh,
Is
wait
there
a
a
minute.
roughing the
There-
passer on Indiana here?
Oh, okay.
Carson Beck
Let's see
might
about
be
this.
selling for the flag.
There is.
It looks
There
like
might
he
be a
was.
flop. We never know. He got right back up, and he's right back in the huddle
Yep.
because he
Flag.
wants to win this football game.
Flag makes a quarterback who gets hit feel a whole lot
Let's see
better.
what
Oh,
happens.
that's 100%.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's
there. You can't-
that's
yeah.
definitely late. That's
Oh,
definitely
yeah, that's a
roughing
rough
the
on the
passer.
passer.
Yeah, he did sell for the flag, though. That did not hurt that bad.
That's
but-
critical.
That was a little bit of an acting job. You can tell he's been learning from his girlfriend.
That's a critical play, though. You can't be. Kurt Cignetti is definitely disappointed with his defense right there. You cannot have a play like that. That would have been 3rd down and 15.
I don't know. He gave it a smirk. He looked pretty happy to me. This is right where
It
Kurt
would
wants
have
him.
it would have been 3rd and 15, but now it's a 1st and 10. Miami is now having the opportunity to drive down.
Here's Carson Beck.
And Carson
Good,
Beck.
Flips it out to the
good
running
check
back.
down right.
11, 12-yard gain there. Minute and 25 stops the clock as they
As they get
run
back
up
up
for the
to the
first down
line,
markers.
and they're not gonna do any spikes. They're just gonna
Yep.
keep going with
They're
this
going to
one.
go.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
going
I
to go
don't blame
doubles
him.
with Carson Beck in the shotgun.
can't afford
running back
to-
next to him. Surveying the field as all the time
Oh
in the
my
world in
goodness.
the pocket.
This
Gets it to
offensive
Malachi
line.
Tony. Great catch for 8
Unreal.
yards.
If Miami wins this game, that entire offensive line needs to be
Player of
crowned
the
like the
game.
MVPs of the game.
I
The
don't know.
amount of time
Maybe
that he's
the
getting back
D-line,
there
too.
against Indiana, who we know as one of the best defensive lines, just pure physicality.
They had 45 sacks
under
coming
And you're
Finish the
managing to
game.
give Carson Beck 5 seconds back there to throw the football.
Run a quick out route. He
And that's
doesn't
gonna
get
stop
out of
the clock.
bounds. Yep. It's going to stop it to get
To
the
stop the clock on
get
a
the
first
first down.
down. Just under a minute left in this game.
52 seconds left. Indiana up 27-21. 1st and 10 for Miami. From I'd say about the 41-yard line.
Fernando
41
Mendoza
yards.
looks like Severus Snape watching a Quidditch
looks like
match
a
over there,
timeout.
mumbling to himself.
Time out here taken by
Kurt
Indiana.
Signetti calls his last time out
I
right
know-
there.
I
I don't
know.
know about that call.
Philip
I
Walton
don't-
will enjoy that
I kind
reference
of,
right there.
I was
Shout
about to
out.
say, I kind of understand it. His defense is in shambles right now. The past 3 plays haven't
Dude,
been.
Michael Irvin's heart
in
might
favor
explode on
of-
the sideline.
This might be what gets Michael Irvin after
All those years of no sleeping.
45 years of no sleep and cocaine.
Yeah.
This is what's going to get to him.
Doctors say he'll go sleep for 1,000 years if he ever goes to bed.
Oh, man.
This is unbelievable. I mean, I'm glad that we're getting a great game. I thought going into this I thought Miami had no shot at even coming close to Indiana.
Many people said that. The experts on ESPN college football said they went, 3-1 for Miami in this one? Nick Saban picked Miami.
Desmond Howard, Nick Saban, they're all
That
Miami.
baffles me that Nick Saban chose Miami.
Nick Saban loves
He
Kirk
put the
Cousins.
hat on, too.
He did.
He was
yeah,
all
put
in
the
on
Miami
Miami.
hat
That
on.
was
Oh.
I mean,
Makes you
right now
think
they're
about-
looking like they're looking like they're experts for a reason.
Well,
'Cause
no,
this is-
Miami is losing with 51 seconds left. What?
But with the opportunity to win the game. I mean,
Miami hasn't led the game all day.
Considering there was
They're
considering there was people that thought Indiana was absolutely gonna blow Miami out of the water.
Carson
Oh, and there's
Unbelievable.
Carson Beck.
Oh,
Makes a Carson Beck
there
play.
it is. is
throws an interception on an absolutely awful throw. Doesn't give his receiver a chance at making it. And at the end of the day, you regress to what you are in the moments where nobody's watching. And Carson Beck, when everybody's watching, always throws an interception.
Guys, this game is making me think about that famous Owen Wilson quote. Wow.
Wow. That's definitely his most famous.
Well, we'll say
there's a
Carson
flag.
Beck,
Hold on. There's a flag
well,
down.
I mean, that's going to be.
But it's going to be excessive.
No, guys, it could be pass interference here.
I just want to see the Gatorade.
Let's hold on.
The ball was nowhere close to being catchable. It was 10 yards away from the
It
nearest
was plenty
receiver.
catchable. What if he shoved him away after the play? Oh,
Yep.
Bad news,
Oh,
guys. It's
no.
unsportsmanlike conduct.
All right, now I want to see the Gatorade bat.
Does not matter.
I want to see Coach Signetti's reaction to the Gatorade bat.
What
color do we think it's going to be?
I was about to say, what color do we think? I think orange.
I'm thinking yellow, but Indiana
I
will
think it's
take
gotta
2
be red.
knees, and they will be national champions here. Y'all don't think the team is terrified to bathe the Gatorade bath Kurt Signetti?
No.
I don't.
No,
I
no.
don't know if Kurt Signetti gets a Gatorade bath. He might be the first coach ever.
He's
where
not.
his team
Players
is,
fear him too
his
much.
team is too scared of him to do that, to celebrate. They're just going to walk back to the
Y'all
locker room
remember that
after this
clip of
game.
Nick
I was gonna
Saban
say,
getting a Gatorade
He's
bath
going to
and
walk
him
back to the
getting,
locker room and say, all right,
Yeah, that's what's
all
going to
right,
happen.
guys, I'll see you all on Monday. Practice bright and early.
We were talking about it before the show. He's just going to say,
Like, all right, we're about a month and a half behind everybody in recruiting now,
Yeah.
guys. Let's try and keep up.
Exactly what it is. You
another
gotta
thing.
be
It's
careful
act-
that you don't go into the end
wow,
zone.
not a lot of room for this last knee. They're probably going to have to sneak it, actually, because they're on the 1 yard line after that unsportsmanlike conduct.
And there is one more second.
Yeah, they're going to have an
there
extra
is
second.
a play clock.
They will
You
have
do
to
not
take a
want
knee.
to go down in the end zone with 1 second left,
we
giving
will. I mean,
Miami
I
another
feel
shot.
like-
Cincinnati's still pissed off on this.
Well, see, here's my. If you just take a shotgun snap in the end zone, kneel it, you get a safety, and you win the game.
No, Miami
I
will
don't-
get
I
to
don't
field
feel
the
like-
punt.
The time would run out.
I run to the sideline
You
and I
still
throw
get
this
the
one
only
away
time
if
down
I'm
punt to
if
end the
I'm
game.
Was it running out of the bounds?
if I'm Mendoza.
You run the punt out of
Oh,
bounds.
oh,
Yeah, QB sneaked into. That's what I said.
Oh,
That'll be the ball game.
and he does end it. Chris Signetti
and
is
there it is.
very
He's
excited.
finally.
Cincinnati
We got him
cracks
to
the
smile.
There's
Points
Gatorade.
to
There's
blue
Gatorade.
Gatorade. Oh, and he's yelling at him. I told you guys. It would not make him happy to get that Gatorade back.
There you have it.
What a
Your
game.
2026 national champions, Indiana Hoosiers, 27-21 over the Miami Hurricanes.
And just like Carson Beck
Beck
does, no handshake, put the helmet on, go hide, and run in the locker room. As he
Carson
does.
Beck.
Well, yeah, now he's got to get real jobs like the rest of us.
Yeah,
Probably one of my
unbelievable.
least favorite quarterbacks I've ever seen play football. And, just makes me happy to see him go out like that, to be honest with you. Not
You
to
and
be
the
a-
rest of Athens, Georgia.
Not to be a hater or anything, but just one of the most unlikable people on the planet. And to see him throw an interception and lose a game and then go cry about it in the locker room does bring me a little bit of joy. Probably more joy than seeing Kurt Signetti win, which, everybody
Oh, I
likes
don't
Kurt
know.
Signetti.
I'm really happy for this guy.
Nah,
I'm really happy for this program.
Kurt Signetti's a cool guy, but Carson Beck, not cool.
Unbelievable game. I mean, these teams definitely deserve their spot in the championship, and I think the better team did end up winning it. I think Indiana was unreal this season.
Insane, yeah.
Just, I mean, unbelievable from this Indiana team.
Unbeatable.
Shout out to Miami for giving them a contest, though.
Miami came in
They
and played a
put
really good
themselves. They gave themselves an opportunity to win this game at the very end, and I respect that. I think Carson Beck, of course, did what Carson Beck does, though.
Yep.
And I was hoping that he would have made it a little bit closer. You just hate to end the game on a game-stealing interception. But that's been the story of Indiana all season, is that defense.
Yeah.
And they've been able to make plays when it mattered most, and they end the game right there making a play.
A great game, but I mean, really no doubt on who the better football team on the field was at all times. Indiana goes up in the first quarter, never looks back, gets a 6-point win. They were 7.5-point favorites. They say good teams win, great teams cover. It's a little maybe Indiana is fraudulent after all.
I don't know.
2019 LSU always covered.
Look, guys.
Ready to
National
wrap this up?
championship is over, and I think I want us to go around the table one last time. Tell me, what's your biggest takeaway from this college football season as a whole? We'll go around the table. We'll start with you, Aiden.
It's a tough question right there. My biggest takeaway that I'm going to go with is that this is probably the least talented team to win a national championship in the last 20-ish years, 30-ish years. Like, I don't know how good that 95 Nebraska team was. I'm sure they had 5 stars everywhere. But this is
That'd be 30 years.
Yeah, I don't know if there's ever been a team in the 24/7 sports era to win a national championship without a 5-star on their roster. And this team did it. They went out there. They showed that with the transfer portal, you can build a team based on players that have proven to perform at the collegiate level. Bring them in, bring in the guys that you have tape on that have proven themselves, and win a national title with it.
Michael?
I think this season fully cements the change we have in college football now. I feel like every team this year, including Indiana, to be honest with you, I know they went 16-0, and at times they looked unbeatable, like nobody else, nobody in the world could even touch them. But I felt like every team this year had their flaws. I don't feel like anybody on this team was just extremely I feel like last year when Ohio State got on their run, all the talent they had, nobody could even do anything with Ohio State. Some of those Georgia teams in 21 and 22, some of the Alabama teams we saw in the mid 2010s. I don't think we're ever going to see that again. I felt like even as a Georgia fan, I know it's a little biased, but as a Georgia fan, Ohio State, I felt like Georgia and Ohio State were two of the best teams in the country. Two very flawed teams still, though. And I felt like, the years past, you've had that top four didn't really have a lot of flaws, regardless of who you're looking at. So I think with Indiana winning this title and the way that all those teams look this year, I think the portal NIL has officially just stamped that change in college football now. And now you're really seeing it. You saw a little bit last year, but I still think you kind of kept a little bit of that with some of those teams who still they were stockpiling the talent and were still playing really well. But I think now, it's just completely a different sport.
To piggyback off of what you're saying right now, it is like you would see offenses develop over time where a quarterback and a receiver would be a backup and continue to practice together every week. And they would build up that thing where they got in year 3 and they were untouchable. Offenses have looked more less cohesive out there as a unit this year. These offenses have really, Indiana had the most cohesive offense, and it was a ragtag team of people that were brought together. Ohio State had all the talent in the world, but they couldn't get an offensive game together really at all this year.
Yeah, I mean, kind of bouncing off of what both of you said, I think this completely changes the landscape of college football. I mean, the 12-team playoff, you can like it, you cannot like it, whatever. I think it was great. I like the 12-team college football playoffs. I disagree with the group of 5 teams getting automatic bids unless you go undefeated. I think that would deserve a spot. But, I mean, overall, I think it was a really good season. I like how there wasn't one clear top team. I mean, we saw Ohio State be amazing all season, and then we saw them fall. I mean, Indiana was the only team that didn't really start near the top, but when they got to the top, they stayed there. And no other team was able to do that. I think it's well-deserved for Indiana. Shout out Miami for making it, but at the same time, the better team won in the end, and I think this was a great college football season. I loved it.
I think that this season resembled a shift in college football. And I think that I'm not going to go as far as to say the Big Ten is the best conference right now. I think that they've had 3 straight national championships, though, and that's come from 3 different teams.
Yep.
And I'll add on to that as an SEC guy, that SEC dominance, it's Alabama for a long stretch of it, nobody else, LSU sprinkled in, then Georgia at the tail end. But with the Big Ten, with your point, you're having Michigan go win it, you're having Ohio State go win it, you're having Indiana go win it, you're having Oregon in the semifinal now. Where's the SEC at? 1-9 in bowl season, something like that.
Hey, Ole Miss was there.
They were there.
I won't really judge a team based on bowl performance. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, because
unless you're in a college football playoff, I feel like the college football playoff is kind of fair game. You weren't better than the other conferences that you're going up against. But I think another thing that I'm going to take away from this season is going to be just get your guy in and believe in him. Indiana went out. They took a chance on Kurt Signetti. They seen what he had, and we were like, we want that here. I think that we have something special, and we're just going to let you try and just to build something off of this. And whether that's a good thing for college football or whether it's a bad thing for college football, it remains to be seen later on down the road. Right now, it feels really good because this was – it sounds weird to call them a Cinderella story, but this was really a Cinderella story in the fact of – this was a team 2 years ago that was, again, the worst team in FBS football throughout the entirety of college football. And Kurt Signetti comes in here, and he makes that turnaround in just 2 seasons.
Well, they won 11 games last year, and people called Kurt Signetti a fraud after he lost to Notre Dame.
I didn't call him a fraud.
There were people calling Kurt Signetti, saying that it was a complete fluke, and that Indiana just played a really easy schedule and capitulated as soon as they played a good football team.
Now, I thought they were going to go around 9-3 this year. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they were at all.
I thought Illinois was going to be this year's Indiana at the beginning of the year, and then obviously the Indiana.
And then
Illinois game
Indiana
happened,
proved
and
that they were not.
I was into that.
What an awful thing to admit on a college sports show.
It was even worse on the tailgate show that day. I picked Illinois emphatically over Indiana, and then it was a 63-10 beatdown. So
It never
From that moment, you could tell that Indiana was the best team in college football.
Like, it never did make it to public for my, Final Four that I had for the semifinals in my preseason. But if you want to know my preseason semifinal games, they're going to be Penn State, Clemson, Texas, and LSU.
Shoot.
So I swung at all four, and I missed.
Yeah,
it was awful.
I think I had Miami making it pretty far. I don't think I had them winning the whole thing, but I definitely had them going to, I think, the semifinals. They were one of my 4 teams.
I've been preaching this Indiana team since day one, even when I thought Fernando Mendoza was named Francisco Mendoza.
First season of the Playbook, he said Fernando Mendoza was the best.
And I said he transformed this team into a national title contender on the Playbook. Episode 1, I think it was. Episode 1 of season 3. Episode 1 of season 3, I watched Fernando Mendoza go and win a national title.
All right, guys.
Ball knowledge confirmed.
It's been great covering this college football season for you guys here on the Playbook. I know Jackson isn't here, but I know that he's had a really fun time covering the season as well.
What about Joey Prater?
And Joey as well, talking about our Army. We have to give our armed forces a little bit of love, and shout out to Joey for doing that for us. And Michael for a few episodes. We're glad to have you on full time for this season of it. And I think that's going to wrap it up here. I'm Brandon Dyer, Aiden Abey, JT Groves, Michael Miller, and this has been the Playbook College Football National Championship 2026.
Let's go!